Hello everyone, we Sonic the Hedgehog Gamer here with
My turn.
Bahoovatond.
It is me, Strab.
There we go. And welcome back to
Also,
more
you're not streaming.
Yeah, there's not much I can do about that.
But how can I watch the video if not streaming it?
Yeah. I forgot how I did the. God, it's only been a week. How am I fucking up this bad?
There's the video. Interesting choice on Marowak.
Marowak's a good Pokemon.
Oh yeah, just generation. It's an interesting choice.
Fair.
Anyways, sorry. Back to business.
X and Y. I've played it before. I'm going through it again. It is a fun game. I actually have never beaten it though.
It was my third game. Well, yeah, pretty much. And this was when I really started sinking my teeth into the series. And it may still remain as my most played Pokemon game. I don't know. And it's not because it's good or bad particularly, but this is the moment where I really started to understand how Pokemon works, and there's plenty to learn and plenty to really dig into, so I just played this thing for hours.
So yeah, we're gonna have harsh critiques for this one.
Yep.
Also, I will say this, X and Y is a perfectly good game. Would I like if it was a bit harder like the previous games? Yes, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes it's fine to have an easy game.
Yeah. Personally, my feelings on it, it's not that bad. It has flaws, but I feel like those flaws are well more worth discussing rather than ranting over, which is why I'm not particularly excited about this section, considering what we've known so far.
Yeah, this is gonna be fun. Let's begin.
Okay, G, it's time for Kalos. We should... what are you doing? Gee, I have bad news on that front. Well, your Megastone isn't available until the post-game. Yeah, you get it from trading with Diantha, who gives you a Ralts holding the stone, so we won't be using Mega Evolution. Look, I'm sorry, nothing I can do about that. Don't take this out on me! All right, fine. If I hack the Megastone, will you calm down? Fine. McKay's right, I am whipped. Gen
Honestly,
6.
Okay, fair enough that she's going with it anyways, but like, if you're going so far as to hack out the starter, why would you not hack in the Megastone?
The issue is the balance is completely fucked.
Oh, obviously.
Like, because
really, my real
Mega God of War is actually kind of busted.
Wait, are they? I mean, I know they're kind of decent with fairy type and whatever, but how busted are the stats?
It gets Pixelate.
Oh,
did Hyperforce.
no!
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Sorry, reminder. Pixelate gives, like, I believe either a 1.1 or a 1.2 bonus to damage with any sort of normal move that is transformed into the fairy type.
Yep. It is devastating.
Anyways, my real concern was, like, I don't know what happens if you have a Megastone, then you get another Megastone. Does the game just crash?
No, I think it would just get two.
Right.
But yeah, I am not looking forward to this because balance is completely fucked. Who cares about balance anymore? This completely ruins the retrospective. And also, if you noticed, technically that should be Mega Gardevoir, not just Gardevoir, but that's the only Pokemon capable of Mega Evolving.
Yeah, that's not bad, actually. I mean, you can have a team with any amount of Megas or not. That's not really the issue.
I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad thing. I'm just saying one that should have been Mega Gardevoir to help more clearly demonstrate, like, yeah, this is the Mega this is my Mega Pokemon. And it's also kind of obvious because there's no other fucking Megas. There's either no Megas or they just use Gardevoirs, and either way, I don't like it. Fuck you, Lily.
Personally, I'm not really super bothered about how easy it's going to make the game. This is a game which, again, really doesn't balance itself well anyways, so just being overpowered through it is not that big a difference.
Again, though, the problem is it's a retrospective.
Well, Yeah, I know, but I don't know. I found it somewhat. This is like the one time where I can maybe give it a little bit of leeway.
Like, fair, I guess, but just to me,
Yeah,
to
it's
me, it's
irksome.
just definitely like you are straying further and further from your fucking goal here. What, are you gonna hack in a fucking Z crystal for specifically for God of War? I know it doesn't exist, but at this point, I would not be surprised if she hacks one in.
There isn't one for God of War, for better or for worse.
I know, but I'm saying, like, just hack it in. Just add code for that at this point. I don't put it past her.
If only were that easy. Anyway, sorry, I know what you're saying.
True meaning of Christmas. When it was announced, people went absolutely ballistic. A fully 3D Pokemon game on a system that could actually handle 3D models without having an aneurysm. On paper, it was everything the fanbase wanted. But as a wise man once said, a lot of people don't actually know what they want. And a full 3D approach is the opposite of what Game Freak should have been doing, because Game Freak's senior staff is averse.
Sorry, that's a bad philosophy.
Sometimes it's applicable, other times it's not. In this case, it's not. I was against
It's
the
definitely
3D. Still kind of am. But
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
not
but
saying that, but like that's not targeted to me, though. Like the 3D art style is a natural progression of it, and I do admit that. I just don't like it.
Yeah, I just don't like the proverb because, like, that's just usually used by people who are assholes anyways and are trying to say, oh, you don't know what you want. You want this instead. I can control you.
Yep.
And a full 3D approach is the opposite of what Game Freak should have been doing, because Game Freak's senior staff is averse to any meaningful change. A 2D game can work on a 3-year development cycle, but a 3D game doesn't unless it already has most of its infrastructure in place. And as we're about to find out, Game Freak has zero incentive to change that development approach. So this is the turning point for Pokemon. It's the point where the creative side is going to brush up against the senior staff and their desire to own 57 yachts. So let's dive right in. We're introduced to Professor Sycamore, the resident
G looked back, so yeah, she did the me thing.
I mean, why wouldn't she? Honestly, it is A, fun, B, rewarding, and C, you're playing with God of War. So, as much as we know how she is with God of War, do we expect something different?
No, not really. It's just more of a yeah. No, there's just no approach to this. That's yeah. Because like, even for retrospective, I don't know if I do a retrospective, I would use the me thing. Probably do it to demonstrate it, but at the same time though, like it's harder without it, and X and Y is already easy enough.
Actually, since a retrospective is usually about experiencing whatever the game has available to you, it'd make the most sense to try to use a me to its fullest, as with super training.
Maybe. I don't know. There's not much for me to say there.
Tumblr Sexy Man, and this time we get to customize our character. But there's just one little snag. Skin and hair colors are locked together at the start. You can change your hair and eyes later, but your skin you can't change, which means you have to wait a little while before being able to actually customize your character at all, which isn't great. I mean, I'm relatively light-skinned, but I have dark brown hair and dark brown eyes, and now I have to choose between them. But it's ultimately a minor inconvenience. Ultimately, Gen 6's character customization is not very good. A fledgling wakes me up with a violent tackle, I get dressed, and Mom tells me to say hi to the neighbors. I head into the next town and...
What do you mean not very good? I hope she elaborates on this, but honestly, it was such a surprising change. I mean, sure, you couldn't take your hat off, but that was really just the minor inconsistency. Everything else was stellar.
And they probably did that is because your opposite will always have their hat off, which looks fucking bizarre. Like that's what it's supposed to be there, to help differentiate like who's the protagonist and who's not in this run. Because literally, if they chose male, Serena would be talking in the other chair, while Caleb would just sit there with a little hat on. So it's like,
meet all my friends who will definitely not annoy me into thoughts of murder. Caleb, the opposite protagonist, Shauna, one of my primary rivals, and Tierno and Trevor, who aren't as important. Tierno suggests we all use nicknames, which I don't really care for. He wants to call me Lady L. What the hell's wrong with you? Shauna wants to call me Lil L. Well, that just doesn't even roll off the tongue very well. And Trevor is uncomfortable at nicknaming someone he just met. You know what? Trevor's got a good head on his shoulders. I like Trevor. But he caves to peer pressure and suggests Elkins. Oh god, that's the worst one. Then Caleb remembers that I'm a thinking, breathing human being and that I should be the one to decide. Good job, job, Caleb. And I can choose one of these three or pick my own. To show my contempt for this entire rigmarole, I chose bitch. You want us to call you bitch? Yes, I do. Okay. Bitch fits you perfectly.
Okay, she made the joke for me.
I mean, yeah, I'm just thinking about just how much contempt for this retrospective that you decided to do.
Genuinely, no one was forcing her to stop it, and by Gen 4, she admitted, yeah, I fucking hate this game series.
Okay, this is great. I wonder why they took out the nickname feature in Gen 7. Oh wait, I'm probably the reason why. Then we get to choose our Pokemon between a Chespin, a Fennekin, and Ralts. Well, how did you get in here, little one? I better take this before the universe explodes. Then Trevor gets...
It's always the water type.
She got rid of Froakie.
It's
Fuck
always
you.
the water. To be fair, I'm happy it's not Chespin, but that's because Chespin is my favorite of the Kalos.
Yeah, Chespin's your favorite. For me, Froakie was awesome. I mean, I wanted Fennekin because Fennekin's adorable, but I also was getting the pre-orders, which meant I getting the fire type. So I chose to get the water type and then grass type Bulbasaur. And the best part was, I wanted Fennekin badly, and you know what I got at the end of the game?
Let's see, so it should have been Delphox. Well, Fennekin.
Yeah, Fennekin. Shauna trades you whatever Pokemon she chose, but she basically breeds another and hands you the baby. As like a, hey, we're friends. This is pretty cool. You should have this.
Or is it as more of like her retiring for being a trainer? Because her heart was never in it.
That I don't remember enough. It's been years since I actually finished the game.
Remember, she is in love with the player. So.
Yeah, I'm trying to forget that.
Anyways, it's been a while since I actually paid attention to the story of X and Y, so I could be forgetting a few things. That I remember, though. Because she was the first, like, confirmed by person in Pokemon. There might be something like the anime I'm forgetting, but yeah.
I mean, I don't know when she's going to bring it up, but since we are looking at the rivals, I shall remind you at the start of this retrospective, the nickname she gave Shauna in the little collage was Le Petit something.
Cephalic Gall. It literally translated to the Cephalic Gall.
Yeah. So, I don't expect it to be normal about any of this.
No, that's what's when you remember she's a child.
Gives me a Pokedex.
Sorry, I just had to put that there.
Well, how did you get in here, little one? I better take this before the universe explodes. Then Trevor gives me a Pokedex. You know, on reflection, I kind of like this intro. It's really getting everything over and done with right away. Like I just sat down and filled out all the paperwork. Okay, these are your buddies. What's your nickname? What star did you want? How did you alter reality to put a Ralts in there? And here's your Pokedex. They give me a letter from my mother, so I head back home, but Shauna stops me for a Pokemon battle. Bitch, wait! It's never gonna get old. I'm such a child. I beat Shauna thanks to a clutch confusion. She's still a thrashing beast. Getting back home, my mother reads the letter and gives me a change of clothes and a town map. You remember how to use the town map, right? Yes, mother, I'm not stupid. That's my girl. Select the town map from your Hey, stop tutorializing me. I already said I know. Caleb forces us to watch a catching tutorial, but it's over mercifully quickly. I found out the game is programmed so that on this route, Pokemon can't break out of balls, which I'm cool with. Shauna is surprised at how Pokeballs work despite already seeing it with her own eyes. Caleb even roasts her for it. Okay, so the game's not condescending. Shauna's just an idiot. I started looking for a Caterpie and training on the other wild Pokemon I found. In the process, I ran into a shiny Bunnelby. Now, I made a point to not discuss shiny Pokemon until I actually found one in the wild. Shiny Pokemon are Pokemon that have a small chance to be a slightly different color from the normal Pokemon. So a regular Charmander is orange, while a shiny Charmander is yellow. Okay, well that's cool, Lily. What are the odds? 10%? No. 5%? No. 1%? No. Try 0.012%. Shiny Pokemon are odd. They are so unbelievably rare that there is a good chance that just casually playing through all the games, you will never run into a shiny Pokemon. Generation 2 had to have a static shiny encounter just to tell you they were in the game. And I'll tell you this, most of us didn't know Red Gyarados was a shiny. We didn't know shiny was a thing. We thought he was just a unique Pokemon for that storyline. Now, shiny Pokemon are treated with a great deal of value by the shiny hunting community, and that value is entirely based on the fact that they're so rare, not a lot of people have them. In fact, the shiny hunting community complains about shinies becoming less valuable whenever the chance to encounter one goes up. This is called extrinsic value, value determined by a market, also known as fake value. The intrinsic value of a shiny, the actual value of that Pokemon as it exists, is pretty much down to how much you like the Pokemon and the color scheme. For example, my favorite Pokemon is Gardevoir, but I hate its shiny form. The blue and orange, while still as complementary a color scheme as the green and pink, just doesn't look as good, and the black dress on its Mega Evolution isn't all that appealing either. It's just the old adage of slap black on something and instantly it becomes edgy and better, like shiny Charizard.
Oh, fuck
if you
you.
gave
Okay, no, I was gonna let her ramble on through this because I do have complaints.
I mean, sure, go ahead, but I just have to say, fuck you. That's entirely incorrect.
No, it's just that the black just looks a lot better, and I'm not even saying it because, oh no, it's so much edgier. Like, no, black is just a better color scheme because the one thing with Gardevoir is that it's also very white, which is not a bad thing. I still find basic Gardevoir beautiful. Like basic mega non-shiny Gardevoir beautiful. But the black puts out more detail. Like, does she have a comparison? Is it just this into the...
just doesn't look as good, and the black
Yeah,
dress
it's just that. So, yeah, so essentially imagine Gardevoir, except all the black parts are literally just white, and there you go. It looks like a wedding outfit.
Yeah.
Which,
It's a good wedding outfit.
It is. I'm not saying that it's bad, but it's like, literally, you probably have like the smaller opinion. You have like the least popular opinion here. I have not seen people say Gardevoir shiny is bad, especially not the Mega.
on its Mega Evolution isn't all that appealing either. It's just the old adage of slap black on something and instantly it becomes edgy and better, like shiny Charizard. If you gave shiny Pokemon a flat 15% rate to appear, their intrinsic value would not change. People would still want the shiny Pokemon they like, and then they would get them. Their extrinsic value, the value assigned to them by shiny hunters, based on rarity and therefore bragging rights, would plummet. But extrinsic value is fake, like NFTs, or currency conversion, or inflation. It's all fake, none of it's real. The current real
Okay, no. Dude, Lily is not a business major. Do not listen to her in regards of this. She has no idea what the fuck she's talking about. Much like Pokemon. But, no. The reason why people are getting upset with how... Like, is it intrinsic value? Yes, because you don't really get to see shiny Pokemon. They don't... It's extremely rare to go and find them outside of, like, the very few specific instances of, like, in the recent games where if you have like an outbreak, there's a higher chance for there to be a shiny there. And yeah, some people don't like that. However, there's also not an outbreak for every single Pokemon out there. Like if you want a legendary, you pretty much essentially need either an event code or to go into the older games, which means they're all not available there. Because, you know, Miraidon, still fucking shiny locked! And it is shiny locked. The only way to get one is if you had a code when updates for Scarlet and Violet were basically over. And is it just for cool bragging rights? Yes, but it's also the wonders of just, wait, did I just hit that chance? It's like winning the fucking lottery, which is amazing feeling. And hell, I was playing, I know this is a bit off tangent, but I was playing Pokemon XD Gall of Darkness ROM hack Director's Cut. And in it, I found a shiny Nidoking and a shiny Machamp. But because they were not shadow Pokemon, I couldn't catch them. And that made me so pissed off. It was hilarious.
Yeah. Honestly, my experience with shinies was... My technical first one was in Legends Arceus, and I honestly didn't even think much of it because, I mean, this is the game which gave you the shiny Ponyta, and I got it so early I thought it was a scripted little shiny Sphinx. I don't think it was, actually. But that was pretty cool. It was just like, bling? Huh? Oh, hey, shiny! Oh, hey, there's a bling thing. This must be scripted or something. I'll catch it anyways.
No, it's
Little
not
did I
scripted.
know.
Only the Ponyta is.
Little did I know. But I didn't think much of it. So my actual official first shiny was, ironically, in, I think it was Alpha Sapphire. Doing an electric monotype run, I was farming for a, Magnemite with Analytic, in particular. So after a bunch of finding, nope, not that one, still searching. You know what? Screw the scan. The scan's not working. I'm just gonna freaking run into them wild and see what happens. Horde encounter with a shiny with Analytic. Stars aligned, and without the scan's boosted rate of shiny stuff, without anything, I happened upon a shiny Magnemite with exactly the ability I wanted. It was insane.
This is why shiny Pokemon is a good thing. Like, is this value technically made up? Yeah, but you get interesting stories because, again, it's a 0.012% chance of it appearing. That when it pops up, you're like, oh fuck, I hit the big time.
You could go your life without seeing one.
Genuinely,
I thought I was.
I've gone through multiple games without seeing a single shiny. And then my first one is fucking Trubbish in Legend ZA. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
The value of a shiny Pokemon is fucking zero. Even if you like a particular shiny Pokemon, it's just too much effort and too much time to hunt for one of those things. I've seen shiny hunters go into 20,000 soft resets. If you want a shiny that badly, hack it in. Nobody who values themselves as a person will judge you for it. Oh, I knocked out
Whoa,
that.
fuck you.
And you killed the shiny! Double fuck you!
Oh, wow, double. Oh my goodness. But, sorry, no. We were just explaining again. Shinies are a storied experience. The value is not in whether or not you get to show them off in competitive. The value is if you actually found one and the rarity of that. So just saying hack it in ruins all of that, and killing the one shiny you found, massive fuck you.
Seriously, like, this is... sorry,
I would have loved to use that Bunnelby in the run. Oh my goodness, because, like, Diggersby is so good.
It is, and this is also a thing that if you get a shiny Pokemon, you'll probably would want to use it to obviously just show it off, but still, it's like, it's a special Pokemon that your mind will instantly react to, and you're like, you know what, maybe I'll give this a try, because I did not think about using a Bumblebee before, because I don't care too much about that line. Shiny Bumblebee? Sure, I'll try it out.
I used a Bunnelby because of a Wedlock, which I didn't finish. It wasn't super invested in it, but I was invested in that Diggersby, because the general bulk was useful. The ground type edition was really fun. It's just a fun Pokemon.
And also, it feels better when you finally catch something genuine than if you just hack it in. Like, I want to go and get a shiny Mudkip for my Alpha Sapphire playthrough. I don't know why, I just want to. Because I found out it's not shiny lock, and I was like, you know what, that'd be fun. Well, fun to have it, not necessarily to try to catch it, but I'm doing it legit. I am not hacking it. I'm not hacking my game just to go and make the Mudkip a shiny, just so I go, haha, I have a shiny Mudkip. No, I am trying to pull the fucking odds, because I am a gambling addict. Okay, no, not actually. The reason why is because it feels better when it is the actual chance, when it's the actual odds. Just hacking it in makes the Pokemon actually worthless. Hell, at that point, you might as well just go hacking shiny Arceus with a fucking Omni Plate and just become typeless.
Yeah, Lily, why didn't you just hack in a shiny Ralts? I mean, you've already hacked in a Ralts over your starter with a Mega Stone. You may as well just make him shiny just to fuck everything over.
To be fair, she said she hates the shiny.
Well, yeah.
Bunnelby, by the way. I eventually gave up looking for a Caterpie and decided to check in Santaloon Forest, where Shauna decided she wanted to follow me because something interesting might happen. And I went through the forest and nothing interesting happened. Sorry, Shauna. In front of the gym in Santaloon...
Completely overlooking that Shauna is a free Poke Center, which ironically you'd think she'd enjoy considering how much she's previously complained about how much you have to backtrack just to heal your Pokemon.
Sorry, I'm eating. Give me a second.
Oh, okay.
Like, my issue with it is that it's supposed to be you and your friends, because remember, you're supposed to be friends with people, Lily. I know you hate people. But no, it's supposed to be, it's special because it's you and your friends taking your first steps into the forest. You get to walk around, see your rival go try to catch a Pokemon. See, I forget the fat guy's name. Tetsuo?
You know?
Toto, yes. You get to see him actually battling someone. If you talk to him, he says he's busy. Like, they're to make the world feel more alive, Lily. And they're your friends. Do you not have friends? Do you just have slaves?
Probably, honestly.
I'm challenged by a roller skater, and for beating her, I get rollerblades, which lets me move off the grid. I quite like the rollerblades. They make me slip all over the place, but it's a fun way to move, and nailing the timing to glide seamlessly around the area is a fun little bit of gameplay. After training up my fletchling, which also ended up being shiny funnily enough, I went to the gym. The Sandaloon gym is a bug-type gym, but fitting with a common...
So I was right!
About what?
Sorry, I didn't mention it, but when I saw the fucking preview, I was like, is that a shiny Fletchend? Fletchend?
Oh, yeah, so I guess I did forget to mention it. Yes, that was in fact a shiny Talonflame.
Okay, okay. So I was not wrong. I was like, that looks off. But also looks similar enough that I could just be fucking crazy in the with a weird rendering. Weird rendering.
Which also ended up being shiny funnily enough, I went to the gym. The Sandaloon gym is a bug-type gym, but fitting with a common issue with gyms from Generation 5 onward was largely brain dead. I mostly just spammed peck and later confusion. I notice I'm spacing out in gym battles a lot more. The gym leader's sister then gave me the EX...
No. That gym actually kind of slapped because it had Infestation, a tick damage that trapped your Pokemon in place. So if you do not act tactfully, you can't switch out. You're taking residual damage, and you're against a fully evolved Vivillon.
It's not the hardest thing, but it will give you trouble if you're unprepared.
Exactly, that's what I'm trying to say.
XP share. The EXP share was changed to work differently this time around. It's a toggleable item that causes all Pokemon in your party to gain 50% of the XP you gain on a fight. This means that if you have a full party of 6, you're gaining 350% of the regular XP you get from knocking out a Pokemon. Because it's toggleable, you get to decide how to use it. My preferred method is to have it turned off, but when I'm trying to even out my Pokemon, I'll turn it on and put my highest level party member in the PC before I go grinding. This cuts down on grinding without fucking up the level curve. Some people complain that
And by the way, this is what I mean when I say from X and Y onwards, they try to make it so you can like run multiple teams through the story mode.
Yeah, I had no idea it was as bad as 50%.
Yeah, it's 50%. This is why it's easy to overlevel in X and Y onwards.
Reminder, switching out your Pokemon to have 2 Pokemon deal with 1 Pokemon will split the EXP evenly between them. So 50% between the 2 of them. That's now irrelevant, if that's the case. I never actually looked into just how bad the EXP share was. Wow.
Note yourself, don't get that rice again.
What?
So that was just me talking to myself.
Oh, is this about the food?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you said like advice, so I was like, huh?
No, a rice. I'm not getting the rice again.
Got it.
there's no incentive not to use the EXP share, but personally I find better game balance and the game being more fun to be all the reason you need. Talking about how you need
Okay, fuck you, because you specifically hacked in a Mega Stone you're not supposed to have. You don't, and also a Vouch. You don't care about game balance. Because if it was, you would have done the small thing and get a fucking Foke!
Yep.
incentives to play a more difficult game just always sounded like the same argument I hear about Dark Souls and how if it had an easy mode there would be no reason not to play it on that difficulty, or how there's no incentive to not spam surges and balloon in the handheld Kingdom Hearts games, which is a very weak piss baby criticism. Look, if you want the game to be harder, then fucking play it that way. If you don't, then don't. But don't act like your lack of self-control is the fucking game's problem. Look, modern...
Okay, no, hold on.
I agree with.
I somewhat agree with, because the problem is the examples that she gave, like, with the Kingdom Hearts one, with balloons, it is so fucking powerful. I think it's specifically Balloonva, because Balloon Gal keeps you trapped for a bit longer.
Yep.
It does so much damage that it's literally, it's like, you want to beat this super boss that's actually very hard, just use Balloonva. Only Balloonva, just Balloonva, nothing else, Balloonva. Balloonva, Balloonva, Balloonva. It is so, it creeps over everything else so much that is basically the only option to go and even tackle a hard fight, even decently well, because otherwise you're not going to be doing much damage at all. And that's why people hate on that one, because in that case, like, it's not that, oh, because we want to make it hard. It's like, no, this is just way blows out all other options. If there's other shit that's like on par with Balloonva, then I would understand that. But no, when you have just one option that is so broken, the only advice people will give you is literally just use it, then that is a problem.
It's flawed. But, like, okay, my experience is Slay the Spire, custom run. You can pick a thing called Hoarder, which allows you to get 3 copies of any card you gain. Then there's Mind Blast, a colorless card so you can find it with any of the characters, which is deal damage equal to how many cards you have in your draw pile. This means that with this combination, you can trivialize fights almost instantly. But I would have to choose to take it. So while my soul does sigh a bit every time I know that the trivialization button exists, and I could potentially grab it at this get a card section, I also know that I can just not pick the trivialization button and just play it like a challenge again.
Yeah, but that's also a roguelike. This isn't roguelikes, these are action RPGs.
Yeah, but again, if you have the power to choose how you can make your difficulty, then why wouldn't you just choose to keep it difficult if you're looking for a challenge? Why would I spam Balloonva if I wanted to actually explore the depths of this game?
Because there isn't anything like that really in Kingdom Hearts or in Dark Souls. Like, that's the thing, is that with those, like, yeah, you can go and learn and equip your stuff how you like it, but there'll always be just the answer of use the best thing. Just because the best thing outblows everything. Because, like, your example is like, yeah, that's good, but it's a roguelite. You do have to get lucky with that. Even if you wanted to use that, that depends on if you can go and get the card to appeal. And if you have bad luck, that could be, like, well down the line. So you could lose ones before you even see one copy of that card.
True.
So, like, that's the difference between, is that as soon as you are able to get Balloonva, there's no chance to not grab it and just use it. That's where the issue is. Because, and again, I agree with this criticism. Like, you want it harder, like, in Pokemon, you want it harder, use shittier Pokemon. But that doesn't
Can't you
answer...
just unequip Balloonva?
What?
Can't you just unequip Balloonva?
You can, but it would be hell when you actually have to go and fight it. Because again, the damage output is like, I use Balloonva once. Guess what? The boss loses like a half of its health bar. I use any other move, at best a quarter. Like, that's the power level difference we're talking about here.
Yeah, and you can choose to just not use that if you're looking for the challenge of the less powerful tools.
I don't know. I don't know if it's just because of me, because I tried to do like, yeah, I'm not gonna use Balloonva, I'm not gonna use it, and then just got to a point where it's like, I keep dying at this boss because I can't do enough damage. Because in Kingdom Hearts, there's literally a boss that you have to do where there's a DPS check, and you're being attacked while the DPS check is going on, and if you fail it, the whole battle restarts. That's
plainly bad design, and honestly, like, then guess what? Balloonva's right there for you.
Yes.
It's a reliable secondary option if you are struggling.
It feels required is the issue. Because it's just
That's an issue with the general game balance.
Yes, but at the same time, though, it's like that's ultimately the thing, though. It's like, you want to harder, use shittier things. Okay, but that doesn't necessarily discuss the balance of the game. You're just saying, yeah, the balance is fucked. Just go make it harder yourself.
Yeah, why not?
I don't know. I just feel like it's just not...
Pokemon games have a lot of problems. I mean, a lot of problems. They are riddled with the fucking things. But this is not one of them. Get over yourself. After I make it through Route 4, side note, who decided Burmy should get Protect this early? Who are you? And where do you live? And how flammable is your house? I just want to talk. I'm invited...
But that's literally Burmy's whole thing, is that it's like the shelter Pokemon. It's protected by the weather.
And if you actually played the games through, you would know this is true even in Gen 4.
Also, Burmy is not that good of a Pokemon. Even with Protect that early, it's not a good Pokemon.
I mean, yes, in general, it's annoying when Pokemon spam their protection move, but like especially when they're not running anything that actually facilitates that. But at the same time, they put the move there for a reason.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to Toxic Stall with my Bomby.
Oh yes, go meditate. Use some toxic stall bullshit instead of fighting them.
Uh,
To Sycamore's lab by 2 veteran trainers, who let me go there on my own. Huh. You know, after Gen 5 put me on a leash constantly, to the point that it didn't trust me to navigate a straight line, I'm liking being trusted to walk 10 feet. In Sycamore's lab, he asked me to battle, and upon winning, he offers me one.
Man, it's almost
Fuck
like you're being
you.
escorted to the boss.
No. She's trying to say, oh wow, isn't it so great that I'm not being manually escorted to the next checkpoint? This game vehemently at this particular section makes sure that you can only go within a certain bounds of the city and nowhere else. They are patiently waiting for you to cave and go to the professor. You are still railroaded, it's just now you get the illusion of choice, and a few cafes and the hairstylist.
Yep.
This is ironically worse because at least the bridge thing got it over with.
Of the Kanto starters, Chikorita, Igglybuff, and Tepig. There may have been a bit of a glitch when I was changing my starter, and other things may have gotten affected. I'm not sure how badly the game is affected by this, honestly, but I wasn't going
Go,
to use...
Tepig, go! Fuck you.
So, I should not have stuffed my mouth with that much rice. Give me 1 second. I'm actually gonna put the I'm actually gonna put the quote on pause.
the extra starter anyway. Gotten affected. Tepig. There
Literally, if that Igglypuff was Totodile, you would have just have had the ZA starters.
True. Anyways, I was like, yeah, Tepig, Chikorita, fuck you.
Look, I grew a bit of appreciation with Chikorita because between the Gen 2 and the Gen 6 retrospective, I saw a video about how good the starters were. And Chikorita, in Gen 2, Chikorita actually was the most competitive out of the other two. Due to ignoring Reflect early on. Which, fair, still shit for the
I guess. If I wanted to be like making easy mode, I would still choose Cyndaquil because Ember is just like having a gun because there's a good special attack. And I personally also like messing with Totodile because, well, he's cute and he's fun and I like his rage gimmick.
Yeah. I'm just saying, it's like, I did learn to appreciate Chikorita a bit more. Still not gonna choose it. I still don't like it.
Yeah, personally, it's like I've learned to start appreciating Tepig a bit more, mainly in design more than battle. But so I was like, yes, use that. That'd be fun. It'd be cool. Chikorita, no.
I mean, at least we know that she wasn't gonna be using any of them. Neither of them were on the Gen 6 screen.
True.
There may have been a bit of a glitch when I was changing my starter, and other things may have gotten affected. I'm not sure how badly the game is affected by this, honestly, but I wasn't going to use the extra starter anyway, so it's all good. We're all good. Back downstairs, I met Lysander. He talks about his dedication to the world and how he wants to make...
That was not even... What?
Eh?
That was a Kingdom Hearts reference. I'm just like, Axel and Lysander are not similar. What? But even in design, considering Axel's is actually a bit more toned down than whatever the fuck he has going on here.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, no, I went and looked it up. I'm a bit wrong, but still.
Get a better place. So keeping in theme with Pokemon, that means he's the bad guy. After Lysander leaves, the Scooby Gang comes back down and, bitch, there's a place I want to check out.
It's not that funny.
I almost forgotten I did that.
It's a little
Still funny.
silly.
I am a fucking child. Shauna wants me to meet her somewhere, but first I get my hair fixed and then meet her at the Trainer PR Studio, a place where you can make and edit 10-second videos. Oh, so it's TikTok. Here's a fun internet fact. Younger viewers might be interested to know that before TikTok was TikTok, it was called Musical.ly, and before that, it was called Vine. It was a different app by a different company, but the vibe is still the same. You'll also be interested to know that my generation is now blaming all the problems we created on TikTok. So that's fun, we're already old. Kayla wants to...
Honestly, I could try to make a point, but just fuck you.
Yeah, it was very much just... Although I will agree, the unalive thing is starting to get annoying.
Oh, yeah, there's definitely issues, but like trying to perform surgery with a buster sword at this point.
I don't blame TikTok, I blame corporations for that one. Although, to be fair, TikTok is a corporation, and it did originate from there, but I'm being like, corporations as a whole. Because, like, once that shit started happening in TikTok, that type of censorship also spread to others, like a fucking virus.
Anyways, TikTok is not Vine. Vine is not that much better. It's just different.
Vine was the OG!
Yeah, but I don't see it as, like, better. Just TikToks definitely have a different, like, energy since they aren't limited to 6 seconds. So you can express anything within a few minutes.
Yeah. But hey, this is not about any of it. This is about Pokemon.
Yeah.
Talk about something in the cafe and is waiting for me there, and given the way the game has so far been willing to let me engage with it on my own terms, I'm a lot less resistant to this stuff than I was in the last 2 gens. Inside we find Lysander talking to Diantha, a famous movie star who happens to look like Princess Knight. You played a young girl so wonderfully in your debut on the silver screen. Wouldn't you rather remain young and beautiful forever and always play such roles? What a strange question. Oh, that's a fucking understatement, Di. Dude went from 0 to incel in less than 3 seconds. Diantha says that youth may be beautiful, but it's not all there is to life, and she's looking forward to playing new roles as she gets older. You were chosen to be a movie star, correct? Isn't it your duty to be ever beautiful? Chosen. Oh, she didn't pursue it. She was chosen. Ah, yes. AB. Assigned actress at birth. Everything.
Okay.
Sorry, that was a bad joke, but...
I just hate how portrayals of these characters, man.
Yeah.
The problem is the voice you give to a character, and this is coming from someone who took fucking drama class every year in high school. The voice you put on will go and set the tone for the character. It's like with Anne from the last game. If you set the voice tone wrong, you make them sound like they're saying something they really aren't. And in this case, she's trying to make Lysander sound, you know, creepy and possessive, like he wants to get into... I'm not gonna finish that line. But no, and it's like, he's trying to be philosophical here. Because he wants to go and make the world forever unchanging, much like Molina in Sonic and the Black Knight was. Which also makes me wonder if they are playing X version.
Did they change that much between versions? I don't know if they got as in-depth as, like, say, ORAS.
I don't know either. There was only slight differences. But, like, in motivation, if I recall, I'm trying to remember from what I read from the Wikipedia. Lysander was more preserved life in X version, and he was kind of like, yeah, fuck y'all, die, and why.
Damn.
But again, that is just a bad memory from something that was probably misinterpreted. Although, let's be honest, I probably would not put it over Lily to pick the pretty Zonius over the terrifying Wyvettle.
Yeah, Gay Deer is just so pretty. Wyvettle's pretty nice, but Gay Deer.
Until it fucking starts crawling at you in Legend ZA. That was I wasn't expecting that. That literally scared me. I was like, oh fuck.
I wouldn't know. I don't have ZA.
We'll get you one, buddy.
Beautiful should stay that way forever. I would end the world in an instant so that beauty never fades. Dude, what the fuck? We just went from creepy incel behavior to advocating genocide so fucking fast. Why is every villain a debate bro now? You know, after an entire generation of Junichi Masuda's public meltdown over criticism of his games, getting back to just a weirdo with delusions of grandeur is honestly refreshing. Anyway, after he leaves and the weird smell is gone, Diantha introduces herself to us and confesses that she's a trainer in her off time. Oh yeah, sure, off time. You know, just a hobby. She's the fucking champion. Other champions work really hard to get where they are. How the hell do you manage to just knock it out in your spare time? Oh, I see. Nah, we're kindred spirits of broken bullshit, you and I. Speaking of which, she got buffed in this gen. Again.
Again, we've covered that Gardevoir is not overpowered, but the whole bit with the champions ever, well, mainly because of Cynthia, is, yeah, they try to play it off that they're the champion because they don't want that kind of ire of, oh, you're that overpowered. So of course she's gonna...
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Of course she's gonna joke about being such a casual, oh, I'm just trainer on the side of things. I mean, first of all, yes, literally she's an actor for mostly, and she just took battling because she has time. She wants to. So it is in some level casual, and of course she's going to play it off as silly and as a bluff because she doesn't want to just say, oh, hi, I'm the champion, I could fold you in an instant.
No, yeah, it's mostly appearances. Because, like, yeah, they're the champion. They have to go and bring positivity around. Because if the champion's in despair, how do you think the populace is going to react?
Yeah. And how do you think the populace is going to react if their favorite actor is also the champion herself?
And also, I will go and say this. I bet I could take on Lily's Gardevoir with my Alakazam. I will say, in this gen, and we're just about to get to it, I will say this. In this gen, I would officially go and say, Gardevoir is better than Alakazam, but that's due to the buff that's about to be mentioned here.
Yeah.
Again, she got a new type which completely shifted her weaknesses to things she can already destroy, and she gets a Mega Evolution with an absurdly busted-ass ability that turns normal-type moves into Fairy-type moves and gives them a 30% power boost, on top of the stab boost they now get. There are a lot of moves to use this with, but the best is Hyper Voice, a move that hits every enemy, hits through substitutes, and because of these changes now has a power of 175.
Oh, that looks sick.
Yeah. And also,
whatever that character was, that would look awesome.
And I still say, even with all that, I could probably beat her with Alakazam.
I would question exactly how, because Psychic was a Psychic, but I still think it's somewhat possible.
I have experience with Alakazam. It would be a hard battle, but I feel like I can do it. But yeah, no, Fairy. Fairy is the thing that makes Gardevoir better than Alakazam, like, officially. But the thing is, I can still set up a light screen. I can still use Recover. I might not be hitting that hard, but are you also hitting that hard? Probably with pixelated Hyper Voice, but...
Anyway, should we talk about Fairy type in general with this introduction, or should we just move on?
Let's just move on.
Alright.
This was the last Pokemon that needed buffs, but it got them in spades. But it makes sense that she got them. In case you haven't noticed, there are 3 Pokemon that Game Freak will always trot out for the spotlight in new gimmicks, and those Pokemon are Charizard, Lucario, and Gardevoir. All 3 of them got Mega Evolutions in Generation 6, all 3 of them were frontrunners in Pokken, all 3 of them are frontrunners in Pokemon Unite, Lucario got his own movie, Charizard got a Gigantamax form and got to be the out-of-region Champions Ace in Generation 8, Gardevoir got a Paradox form in Generation 9 and got to be the out-of-region Champions Ace in Generation 6. One of them is Furry Bait, and Game Freak knows this. One of them is Teratophile Bait, and Game Freak knows this. It's a trackable point of behavior at this point. When something happens, it is always these 3. Anyway, heading out to the room. Freak knows this. One of them is Teratophile Bait, and Game
That may pull up the show comments.
Freak knows this. It's a Furry Bait, and Game Freak knows this. One of them is Teratophile Bait.
Looking at
Attraction of Monsters. Fair game.
So essentially any Pokemon.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, there's the same kind of, like, issues with don't do the Pokemon apply, but, like, in general, it's like, I mean, I'm a furry. I'm not too surprised by wanting to fuck monsters.
And Game Freak knows this. It's a trackable point of behavior.
Before we move on entirely, forgetting Pikachu, like literally, where's Pikachu in all this?
Pikachu got a Gigantamax, Pikachu got its own game, Pikachu's got technically Raichu, but the Mega Forms make Raichu look like Pikachu, and there's fucking 2 of them. I hate that. Same with X and Y Charizard, same with X and Y Mewtwo.
Let's also not forget Cosplay Pikachu, Trainer Cat Pikachu, which is entirely unnecessary. Partner Pikachu, sort of, but that's actually kind of cool. Basically, they still love Pikachu as much as this, and the only reason they didn't give him Mega because they couldn't really figure out how to make Pikachu Mega Evolve, and they didn't really have as much faith in Raichu yet.
And also, Pikachu's also front runner in both the fighting game and Unite.
And Smash Bros.
And Smash Bros. Same with Lucario.
The anime, Pokemon, TCG to some degree. Yeah, no. They obsess over a lot of Pokemon, and it's fair to bring up that it's not just Gen 1, but, like, I don't know. Just mention the Pikachu into them.
One of them is Teratophile bait, and Game Freak knows this. It's a trackable point of behavior at this point. When something happens, it is always these 3. Anyway, heading out to the Route 5 gate, Tierno calls me to tell me about the weird wild Pokemon he found there. As I step onto the route, a Lucario walks right up and starts sniffing me.
Go away. Go away, you.
His trainer runs up and explains that this Lucario is very antsy, but doesn't usually like strangers, and that he must be able to sense something in my aura. This is a very weird conversation, man. Please take your dogs and leave. Later, I run into Tierno, who talks about running into a horde battle and then challenges me to a regular battle. After I win, good to see you, Lily. Excuse me, I meant bitch.
Fuck.
Game Freak, bring back the nickname feature.
Look,
it's fun. In Camphor Town, the only place to go is the cat.
You can hate it all you want. That one's actually legitimately funny.
No, that one got me. That one got me. I'm laughing because that one actually got me.
Yeah, I don't care about being childless. That one was a funny joke.
Castle. He tells us the history of the castle, and then Shauna asks if they know anything about Mega Evolution, to which the nice old karate man says, "The fuck's Mega Evolution?" Then someone comes in to tell him some fuck shit is going on, and he leaves us to explore the manor. Why don't we go to Route 7 too? I don't know. Can't I look around first? I can! There wasn't much to see, but I'm appreciating the fact that I'm not being dragged around by the neck this time around. Maybe they just hadn't figured out how to do that in 3D space. Turns out that on Route 7,
that happened once. That happened one time, and you won't shut up about it.
Genuinely. When you get to a new town, pretty much it's like, you're about to leave? Okay, yeah, no, you're doing the plot. Besides that, go do whatever the fuck, we don't care.
Girl was dragged across a straight bridge one time and cannot deal with it. What the fuck?
I think it happened twice, but still.
I know it happens a bit later, but... where? Why are you taking apart my argument? Where?
Sorry.
Anyways, the point is... like, she's still vastly overblowing how much you are usually dragged around when this truly is just not every day, not modus operandi. I can't find the phrase I'm looking for, but basically this is just normal. You, as per usual, are brought to a new town. Well, not brought, but you wander into a new town. You do what's within the new town, and either the rival in question bugs you as you enter or bugs you as you leave. That's just how things have been going. And it's not the worst. I don't find it to be too bad. It's kind of iffy, but I'm not, I'm not the kind of person to really blow it out of proportion.
Honestly, I don't even say this is the worst case of it. I say that's still coming up.
Yeah.
That could just be me just compilating Sun, Moon, and Ultra Moon together.
Not excited for those games.
Neither am I, because those are honestly probably my favorite.
It wasn't exactly my favorite. There was some good about it, but there's like a glaring flaw about it that stands out probably more than even some later in the series.
Yeah, yeah. We'll get to it when we get to it. We've already an hour into this. We're an hour into this, and we haven't even gotten past 13 minutes.
Snorlax has fallen asleep and is blocking the road with his big fat lovable ass, and we have to go up to another palace to find the Pokeflute. I get to the palace and they want $1,000 to get in. The proceeds for the entrance fee goes towards repairing and maintaining the palace. Probably. Wow, everyone here's just so done with everything. This is the palate cleanser I needed. Inside is a hapless man whose Pokemon is missing. Instead of looking for it, he's opted to stay by the solid gold Milotic statue. So Shauna suggests we go look for it instead, and by we, she means me. So I crawl all over the mansion and find nothing. Then I head out into the courtyard, and that's when Shauna decides that she wants to help. Oh, thanks, Shauna. Could have used your help earlier. Then I found him in the hedges, and it was a frou-frou. We've got to corner him in a puzzle by using Shauna to block off certain paths of escape, which would be an interesting puzzle if Shauna didn't bold-facedly tell you the answer every time. Once we corner him, his owner...
Okay. One, there would have been no point having her follow you around the palace. And two, it's like, I'm gonna be honest, even if they told you the solution, like, right away, it actually is... It took me a while to actually get the fucking 4-4 on the right spot, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, it's not the most straightforward of puzzles.
It's not.
It's dumb once you know the solution, but all the same, until you do, it's like, man, I've not practiced with this kind of puzzle. What is this?
Honestly, I don't even think there's another puzzle like this in the entire series.
Yep.
Which is kind of
It's a truly unique...
Go ahead.
It's a truly unique puzzle that you don't really see a lot in anything, so I can understand throwing some for a loop.
Because, yeah, no, like, there's a lot of puzzles in Pokemon, but a lot of them are pretty much the same thing, flavored differently.
asks us to rendezvous on the balcony of the palace. Sir, I don't like the vibes you're giving off. I get to the balcony and Shauna has beaten me there despite me dashing off and leaving her in the dirt. You know, I really hope we get to be great friends, Lily. I know I haven't seen them yet, but I know I'll never forget these fireworks, because I watched them with you, Lily. You okay, Shauna? I never want to forget this, so I'll keep this memory in an album in my heart. Well, this got gay really fucking fast. Like, holy shit. I think this is the first time a rival has been implied to have a crush on you, which is weird because it would certainly explain the very exuberant, almost weirdly boundary-pushing behavior of most companions. Looking at you, Barry, and Bianca, and N, and How, and Lily, and Hop, and Nimona. Then the owner of the castle gives us the Poke Flute and is extremely...
We're going to have fucking wards!
At least with Nimona it made sense, because, like, duh, she's fight sexual, of course she's gonna get something out of this. But, nah, I don't know as much about the others. Try not to make it weird between these other guys.
Barry is just ADHD! Barry's just ADHD and autism speeding off at 50 miles per hour. Bianca has no idea what she wants in her life and is trying to discover herself. And
Bianca doesn't love you, she's learning to love herself, idiot.
And, honestly, and just needed friends. It's not even romantic, and just straight up just needs friends.
And needs a head pet.
Hop is also trying to discover himself because he's not taking shit seriously. Lily constantly needs your help because she's not a fighter herself. At least not yet.
She has a lot of trauma and she doesn't know how to work through it alone. That's why you're here now.
And Hop.
Hop is trying to live up to the fucking expectations of his brother too. Because, you know, the fucking champ.
Yeah, you're not Hop's, like, companion. You're Hop's rival, his checkpoint to whether or not he's succeeding. Anyways, I don't know how I feel about Shauna being, you know, into you or whatever. It's kind of a weird point, and it kind of comes out of nowhere. I personally didn't care about it when I first saw it, because I was a child and didn't know better. And now it's just like, I'd rather just stay away than rather have an opinion about this at this point.
Yeah. I think it's sweet, and I definitely don't mind it, because... Hey, for all we know, it could have been someone's first crush, too. It could have been a kid's first crush.
Fair.
And hell, in Black and White 2, we had the whole fucking dating side quest.
Which itself was kind of questionable, but still.
Like, it's not that weird when you remember in universe you guys are about the same age. It's just weird when you look for it on the outside when you're an adult.
Those people are the same age as a trainer?
Yes.
I thought they were, like, older.
No, they're about teens. They're teen idols.
Oh.
Like, I don't know their exact names, but if you look at them, they look about the same age.
Looks can be deceiving. Do not define whether things are okay by looks alone.
Yeah, that is actually very, very true. But yeah, age is unknown from Yancy.
So yeah, until confirmed otherwise, creep.
I honestly, it's not that big of a. Yeah, so I'm just quickly trying to read this.
Yeah.
Although she will give you Pokemon.
True.
Well, you trade Pokemon, but yeah. You could get Mawile, Shellos, and they're all female. Toga, oh no, not all female. I just barely could see the sign. The male sign. But yeah, Meowth, Wobbuffet, Valks, Sheldeon, Rhyhorn, Shellos, Mawile, Spiritomb, Snorlax, Teddiursa, Spinda, and Togepi. All holding a item, and is that their hidden ability? What is Togepi's hidden ability again? Super Luck, yeah, the hidden ability.
I was about to say, oh, it's Serene Grace. Wait, no, it isn't.
So yeah, she'll give you, yeah, so for these Pokemon, you get the hidden ability. You can get Infiltrator, Spiritomb. Honestly, that's not that bad. Not the best thing, but not that bad.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're getting off topic. But again, I don't think Game Freak would have been that creepy to have your 15-year-old date a fucking youthful 25-year-old.
I don't know. It's A, Japan, and B, Game Freak.
Oh, so I love how I click images and the first thing it pops up is Sugar Convoy's video.
I love Chaka Conroy.
I've not been watching his stuff as much recently.
Oh, me neither. That doesn't mean I don't love him.
So I'm just gonna send this to you so you can compare.
Let's see. Yeah, I mean, maybe, but tell you no, I don't know. It just doesn't give me the right feeling.
Yeah, fair.
And Nimona. Then the owner of the castle gives us the Pokeflute and is extremely classist in the process. Hey, this is France. Can't we put him in the guillotine? I want to make lots of memories on my journey, but I think I'll try and forget about him. Okay, Shauna's all right. I like Shauna. She's a good rival. We're vibing, me and Shauna. I bring the Pokeflute back to the Karate Man and he wakes up Snorlax only for it to attack. But after we put it back down, the rich bastard from earlier comes back and says that Karate Man plays the flute beautifully and we are all very awkward. Was that supposed to be an attempt to patch things up? I don't know, Shauna. I don't understand the wealthy. Past Snorlax is the Pokemon daycare where Trevor and Tierno catch up to us to insist we check it out. No thanks, guys. I'm good. Okay, I guess I don't get a choice. I seem to remember something good could happen if you leave 2 Pokemon here. They fuck. They fuck, Trevor. Pokemon fuck. After I'm done destroying...
Why? Why was that necessary?
What was that image even? I didn't catch it.
2 Pokemon here. They fuck. They fuck, Trevor. Pokemon fuck.
You know, I can't tell what they're looking at. Maybe I don't want to know.
I look at the fucking Gardevoir. You think I want to know?
Yeah.
Fuck. After I'm done destroying Trevor's innocence and getting myself blacklisted by Game Freak, he wants to show me the Battle Chateau. I've destroyed his...
Oh, if only! If fucking only! The world will be at peace.
What?
If Lily just gets fucking blacklisted from all Pokemon games going forward.
True.
If that happened, we never would have listened to this final retrospective.
After I'm done destroying Trevor's innocence and getting myself blacklisted by Game Freak, he wants to show me the Battle Chateau. I've destroyed his childhood so badly that he's now interested in competitive Pokemon. I should feel guilty, but I am an evil person. Then we run into Calum further down the road and he wants to have a double battle with Trevor and Tierno. After it's over, they just shuffle me on my way. You know, so far I'm appreciating the approach the game has taken so far. Your rivals pop up, a lot to chat with you, but unlike the previous 2 gens, it's mostly just to say hi and move on. And at least the rival you spend the most time with, Shauna, actually has some charming dialogue to her. You know, they're just kids trying to have fun with their Pokemon. Pokemon, which is much better than having to listen to Cheren have an existential crisis about strength, or having to listen to N wax poetic about belief. Upon getting out of the cave...
So I thought that was gonna be N. I didn't think she would continue on with fucking N. You know, the one who you are at direct philosophical opposed to.
I'm honestly impressed and surprised that she's cool with these guys, because like I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. These four, well, yeah, no, four because you're the fifth. These four are easily the worst of the cast in all of Pokemon. The fact they throw a massive 4 at you, where Tierno and not Caleb. Why can't I remember the smart kid's name?
I don't remember the smart kid's name either.
Well, now I'm gonna look it up. Tierno.
I'm immediately...
Trevor. I just looked it up.
Trevor. Yep. So, yeah. Sorry, Tierno and Trevor are interesting ideas with really uninteresting execution. Honestly, like, I was thinking about leading up to this, like, a person themed around dancing and Pokemon dancing and all that would have been really cool. It would have been a lot cooler if they were a legitimate challenger. Like, you know, a gym leader maybe, or just straight up a major rival that isn't here to grow with you, but instead be a major checkpoint. Like, say, Mirabee. Mirabee would be a great example of what you could have done with a dance thing, because with a dance team, because, well, you could have a fully formed team themed around dancing, rather than watching someone eventually come into the form of dancing with a Corphish, slowly, maybe kind of halfway.
Man,
Trevor is...
that good.
Trevor is smart, and Trevor is smart. And I mean, like, Trevor's smart, so, like... Did I mention Trevor's smart?
If he's
then
supposed to be your, oh my god, you only fight him twice!
So yeah, Trevor's smart.
By the way, so I don't know Trevor's age. We just straight up don't know the age of people in Pokemon.
I wonder why. Anyways, yeah, then Serena / Calum is just here, like, they are easily the flattest version of the rival we've seen yet. Friendly, yes, but not like the actual friendly rivals, which are really sort of, you know, doing their best to engage with you, really trying to be your close friend or whatever. They're just kind of there. They have no clear morals other than I want to be a Pokemon trainer. They have no clear conflicts, period. They're just there. Shauna is perhaps the most interesting part, and she's just a wooby. Like, there's not much in terms of how good she is at battling. She doesn't have much internal conflict. She is basically just here for the ride, and that's the other problem. Most of these guys are just here for the ride. Cheren and Bianca weren't. They were legitimately challenged by their adventure, and the adventure was an adventure. It's about them learning and growing and trying to develop something. And it's going to take the whole adventure to do that, of course, because if they solved it in the middle, what would be the point?
Trevor's supposed to be your Pokedex rival.
Oh.
Because his primary goal is to finish the Pokedex as well. Because I'm looking at in the core series, and it mentions complete his Pokedex multiple times in it.
So yeah, he's a nerd.
Yeah, no, and he's also a photographer. At least in the anime, he became a photographer. Either way, point is, these two don't have much going for them, and it's kind of hilarious that Lily's like, oh yeah, I love these characters with no flavor. Man, these two tofu characters are sure great.
Yeah, somehow, literally, the only reason she likes them is because of how unimportant they are. That's how bad it is. Like, she doesn't love them because there's something fun. Well, there's something fun about Shauna's character. I'll give him that much. That's charming. But since everyone else is literally such a nothing that they can't put in any meaningful dialogue for them, now she loves them because it means there's less to do and she gets to move on much sooner.
Honestly, I need to see how the anime portrays these characters because Shauna, Tremor, and I already forgot his name.
Tierno?
Tierno, they both, they all are in the anime as like their own group. They are their own trio.
Yeah, I was thinking about the anime as well. I had a bit of a thinking about Tierno and Trevor. It's like, wow, these guys are so relevant that in the anime they are immediately replaced by a gym leader in true Brock and Misty fashion, and his little sister, both of which basically making up the roles of the replacements. Trevor is replaced by shoot, what's his name? Uh,
Fuck.
uh,
I know it was. I know it started with C.
Lumious Jim. Clement.
Lament. Yes.
Otherwise called Citron in Japanese. Where's this little sister? I don't know if it's going to list it easily. Remember,
Let's see.
relatives, Bonnie. Yeah. So Clement and Bonnie, they are good and well, they're all right, and basically just replace the roles where Trevor is replaced by Clement and Tierno is loosely replaced by Bonnie. You know, being high energy, more emotionally, like more focused on the emotions of things. A classic red only, blue only type gimmick.
Yep. So yeah, point is, Lily likes the non-characters, which fucking sucks because they had potential. They had so much potential to be something better.
Yeah, if they just didn't throw all four of them at you at once.
So like having another group of people that saw like at the same time. Like imagine instead of all of them, like Trevor and Tona were both actually at Professor Sycamore's lab getting their first Pokemon. So you get to see that, and then you all start off on the adventure together as like two groups destined to be rivals. Like that could be interesting. Hell, that could honestly be interesting to see for like just a rival character. Because typically the rival character gets the Pokemon before you. Like at the same time as you.
It'd be interesting seeing how the like Tierno and Trevor feel about not getting a starter and having to define their own team.
Yep. Anyways, enough hypotheticals.
Crisis about strength, or having to listen to N wax poetic about belief. Upon getting out of the cave, I'm immediately stopped by these two rich kids. Have you ever wondered how a single Pokedex could possibly cover a region as big as Kalos? Storage larger than 1 gigabyte, I assume. Well, it can't. That's why we're here to power up your Pokedex. Do I have to restart it? Because I hate firmware updates. They add the Coastal Kalos Pokedex to my Pokedex, so now it can read the Pokemon I will encounter from this point onward. This was unnecessary. You know, this is kind of what I mean about Pokemon's writing a lot. They just throw useless fluff scenes like this at you constantly. It's almost like Game Freak is trying to break its word count record. On my way down the mountain...
Okay, oh, that is bad for you. Well,
why?
It's bad for the Zangoose. But bad if you wanted to catch said Zangoose.
That's what, okay. Anyways, yeah, I do agree there was a useless feature, but that's it. Like, saying, oh, they want to just throw in fluff and stuff is like, no, fuck.
There's actually gameplay use of it. It helps split up the Pokedex so it's easier to find what Pokemon you're missing. Cause
I mean, I guess, but like, there's a search feature that's just knowing the Pokemon and just taking your time looking through the list. It's not that hard.
It may not be that hard, but one, it's a bit of wall building, which I don't know if it's just me. I do appreciate wall building. Wall building to me is always a good thing. And two, it helps with set up, so it's like, oh, okay, so I can find these type of Pokemon here. I don't have to go and worry about continuing onwards. And is it silly? Yeah. Is it offensive to have like a 5-second saying, hey, yeah, no. Well, I guess it would be more like 10 seconds, but still, just go like, oh, hey, yeah. Did you know that there's a shit ton of Pokemon in this game? I did, and here's the ones you can find here.
Yeah, the scene itself is not the issue, but I do really struggle to see the point of the Coastal Dex.
I thought it was useless first too until I actually thought about it. It's like, oh, it's actually kind of neat to split things up like this. It makes it not overwhelming because then you could tackle. Because the problem with like the standard Pokedex is that it's not based on VGen, it's based on index number. So if you're trying to catch everything in like the coastal area, let's say, to the coastal area of like Paldea, you don't necessarily know what Pokemon would spawn there unless you've already met that Pokemon and you're checking its habitat constantly. And hell, you'll probably go and search for one and then find out that's on the other side of the fucking island, on the other coast. And then you just have to skip that one until you find all the ones for just this one area. It split things up nicely to make it easy to organize and see what you're missing in a given area or region.
You know what? Fair. But honestly, bring back the habitat thing. Remember that from Black and White 2?
What's the habitat?
Oh, right. You didn't play that much. Okay, in Black and White 2 specifically, though they did not keep it, they introduced the habitat feature. Every route and other area such where you can encounter Pokemon, they have a special tab which will tell you all the Pokemon that can be encountered in that area. It'll tell you if you've encountered all of them, it'll tell you when they'll, like, not reward you, but, you know, celebrate when you collect all the Pokemon in that area. So you know when you're done by the when you get that little badge.
So kind of like what they have in ORS with the Poké
Yes,
Search.
actually. Right, I forgot. They did do it with DexNav.
DexNav, that's what
That
it's
is
called.
perhaps the most clear-cut and better version of the idea you're displaying. Because yes,
It is.
Coastal Deck, sure.
I will agree with that one. That the fucking DexNav is the best shit to happen in Pokemon. I love that shit.
So yeah, if you ever bother playing Black and White 2, sadly no DexNav and its cool features, but they will tell you when you've completed your Pokemon Dex in that area, allowing you to move forward.
Okay, but yeah, no. Point is, there is uses for it. I understand if you don't like it, cause it was handled weird. But yeah.
I run into my first horde encounter of 4 Seviper and a Zangoose. And because Zangoose was in the group, all the Seviper just started attacking it.
I see this as an absolute win.
In Ambra Town, I checked the
I'm trying to complete the Pokedex. I need that thing alive.
I honestly love that detail. That's such a great way, like, showing, not telling.
Oh no, don't get me wrong. I fucking love that for lore perspective. I just hate it if I'm the one that wants to catch the Zangoose. Imagine if that was a shiny Zangoose with 4 Vipers. You're not catching that thing.
Yeah. I mean, maybe an earthquake, but probably not.
The Earthquake has a good chance of killing the Zangoose.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a level 8. You need a move that hits all, that's super effective on specifically Viper, and not kills the Zangoose. Which if you're
I forget how Magnitude's targeting work, but maybe Magnitude.
Maybe?
If you're lucky, of course.
out the fossil lab because Calum wanted to know if they knew anything about Mega Evolution, which has pretty much been the story the entire time. Go to a place, do you know anything about Mega Evolution? No? Next place, repeat until get Keystone. The researcher suggests that I go to Glittering Cave to look for a fossil, suggesting that a fossil Pokemon might help. Glittering Cave actually looks pretty neat. It's not a complicated area, it sacrificed that for the perspective, but I like how it looks like a cave, and not the weird underground cathedral most caves in Pokemon look like. Have you ever seen videos of spelunking? Caves are claustrophobic as fuck, I like this. Deep in the cave, I found a man dressed all in orange, looking like he was getting ready to reclaim.
I have a bit of claustrophobia. It's not that bad. But seeing that, I'm just like, oh god, I'm gonna die there. Especially since I have a few pounds.
Yeah, it's not the claustrophobia for me. It's just that you're gonna die. You're very obviously going to die. Why are you putting yourself in the I'm gonna die position?
Yeah.
A slur. What do we have here? A nosy little trainer has come poking around? Listen up, we are the fashionable team whose very name makes people tremble in fear. Team Flare. You just reminded me of Unforgotten Realms, sir. I don't think you're as terrifying as you think you are. He challenges me to a
Okay, I know you've already ranted about characterization and stuff, but man, fuck that voice in particular.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, I don't know what she's referencing.
I don't either.
fight, but this is my 6th rodeo and he loses. You're a pretty tough Pokemon trainer for a kid. Sir, all Pokemon trainers are kids. The only adults are the people running the league. You are very pathetic. At the back of the
No? What?
Adults battle with Pokemon.
There's a lot of trainers out there. A lot of them are kids for sure, but that's also because our perspective is always a kid.
I mean, there's the hiker. Dun, 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 dun.
What about breeders? Are all breeders kids? Too? Are they all teenagers?
wanna-
That's a lot of questions if they are.
Sorry, you made me think breeder and kid in the same sentence, and I didn't want to think about that.
I know! That was the fucking point!
Fuck you.
Like, sorry. That was probably a bit
Like,
too aggressive
yeah.
on my end. I apologize. But no, it's like, are you trying to say something, Lily? Because there's a lot of classes that aren't. Most of the people you fight are actually adults, like Pokemon trainer classes. And God, I'm gonna add so much work for myself trying to just pull shit up. Cause let's see, A-list actor could be seen as like teen to adult. Ace duo, the same. Ace trainers. Although to be fair, these are like people. The Ace set is definitely like high end. We're about to challenge the Elite Four type of deal. But actors are more so adults. Actress are, yeah, actress could be either or. Ether Foundation is all adults. Unless you want to say Sabrina has hired teens.
No.
Aroma Lady, Area Leader, Aqua Admin, Factory Head, Fairy Tale Girl, Fair Prince. Like, those are kids. Festival Boy, Festival Girl. A fine actor is the male counterpart. Gunner, adult. Gawkon, adult. Gentleman is definitely adult. Golden Love is likely teen. The fuck's a golf? What?
What?
First debuted, this was given to character Maria Monica, as portrayed by actress Isabel in Unique Star Color, in Nate's version of Love and Battles. Yeah, there's a girlfriend trainer class called Lover in Japan. Or Japanese.
Huh.
Because, yeah, no, this is Poke Star Studio.
Oh, okay. That makes a bit more sense.
Yeah, so it's not actually your girlfriend, it is your the movie's quote love interest.
Okay.
Oh hey, Glitch Trainer, glad to see you. Golf buddies, gourmet, Grey School, Grand Duchess, which is just I already forgot her name. Diantha. And then we have gym leaders, which gym leaders are not exclusively adults. Some are teenagers.
Yep.
So it's like, there's a lot. I am just going on a fucking rant at this point. The point is, there's a lot of kids and there's a lot of adults that are trainer classes. And by that point, Pokemon trainers. It's just that when we're typically talking about this, we're thinking of like ace trainers. Which are usually like teenagers. Ace trainers are typically teenagers. Because those are the ones that are like hammering in the effort to be the strongest.
Okay, we find a researcher who is so absorbed with fossils he didn't notice the muggers closing in on him. Luckily, he already has the fossils he found and offers us each one. I chose the sail fossil. I brought the fossil back to the lab and was given an Amara. Now it's onward to the next city. Moving out toward
Amara, I love you, but my god, you're almost impossible to use.
Yeah. I like Tyrant instead. Adorable T-Rex.
Tyron is a lot easier to use and probably more powerful. It sucks. I actively tried to use Amora. It did not go well. It kept dying on me. I'm like, okay, yeah, no. If I'm having this much trouble in X and Y, I'm doing something wrong.
Sillage City, I'm
Yeah.
running into a similar problem that I had in Black and White. See, I need to get G up to level 30 before she's actually useful, because Ralts and Curlia have pitifully low stats. But Ralts is in the slow leveling bracket, and that's compounded by the fact that she gets one-shot by damn near fucking everything in the game, leading to a cycle where I do one battle, run back to the center, do another, run back to the center, repeat until 3DS is thrown across the room. At Sillage City, I changed my wardrobe to look like an absolute tool that just walked out of 1994 before heading to the game. In case you're wondering why I'm not touching on the character customization all that much, the truth is the offerings are pretty thin on the ground. There's only about 4 boutiques in the entire region, one you can't access right away, and they only sell a small number of items to start with. Actually getting anything is a pain in the ass, and that's not counting how much of a money sink most of it is. So unless you cheat, like I did, or are really dedicated on backtracking through most of the routes, you're not going to find much worth putting on. Can't even take off your hat. Generation 7 and 8 admittedly did a lot better, while Generation 9 backslid like crazy. For what it is, it's fine. At this point, I'm pleasantly surprised the character model doesn't glitch out and set fire to the battery. You know how Game Freak can be. Sillage City is a rock.
Okay, I let that play on for a bit too long because I wanted to say, yeah, thank you for fucking validating my point about Valts, by the way.
Anyways, so I was thinking more about the customization. We already
Yeah.
know that Valve sucks.
Yeah, no, that's gonna be my thing was just a side tangent, which is why I held off. For the customization, yeah, it sucks, but it's also the first time Game Freak even attempted anything like this.
I wouldn't even say it sucks. I loved trying to dress up the character and seeing what little reaction thing he got out of it, for one, and two, just
Wait.
how cool things look.
Lily, fuck you! You're playing the female protagonist. You don't get to complain.
Oh, right, yeah, I forgot they just completely gutted the male side of things. That part is actually pretty sad.
To put it in perspective, clothing is gender locked, and they made a lot more female clothing than the male clothing. And she's complaining about the female side of things. You don't get to complain when you have like 20 more options than the male.
Yep.
Typed
As
in.
for
And
the boutiques, it's... sorry.
I
As
wrote
for...
no.
Yeah, you go ahead. As for the boutiques, it's almost as if they're expecting you to play this game more periodically and methodically, rather than trying to rush through it. You know, like playing this game for several hours on end to do lots of different things, from a me, super training, finding Pokemon, learning about Pokemon, so on. Again, this is a game I sunk many, many hours into, so I never had a trouble with the boutique, because whenever I bothered messing with it, there's usually new stuff to find, and whether I want it or not is up to me. It's like clothes shopping in Animal Crossing. You don't get everything everywhere all at once. You need to keep playing it until you get what you really want out of it. It's cool to see what you get in the meantime.
Oh, so there are 6 in total. Lumio City is the one being locked. You have to partake in various activities, such as defeating traders, and then speak to Alexa to get access to the one in Lumio City.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. Male clothing, there is, do they have a number for it? Or am I just gonna have to fucking count? I'm gonna have to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. Keep talking. 35.
I don't know what to talk about. I kind of covered my point.
36, 37, fail. 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 54,
Like,
52, 53,
yeah.
54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59.
I guess one side thing which isn't entirely correct is when we were talking about how the woman gets more than the man, and that's entirely sexist. That's why I'm not entirely surprised if Game Freak is like a little more creepy about, you know, kids and adults and all that. Because, like, wouldn't you know, they're also fairly sexist and biased towards letting the female dress up more than the male. Why wouldn't they? You know, do we have anything that would confirm that they're not just creeps? May I remind you, this is Japan.
I mean, honestly, I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt, because if that type of scandal did go out, Pokemon's reputation would plummet. And also, it's not just Pokemon. It's just not Pokemon for this. This is essentially any, like, customization options. Before, like, recent, actually. Where it's like, yeah, no, we're going to go and lock all the outfits and make, like, the females have more. Because as much as they want to say it, women are more into fashion than men. Not saying men aren't into fashion, just that women are more known for it.
No, women are more trained to consider fashion than men. Men could absolutely get into fashion if culture and society engaged in it enough for them to bother. They are taught to think that it doesn't matter. They are given a bunch of drab clothes that don't include fashion, so they don't bother. They are conditioned into it, and women are conditioned into fashion more. It's not a matter of preference, it's a matter of our society.
And you know what? Fair! Thank you for catching me on that. And also, it's actually worse than I thought. Do you want to know how many options the male has?
How many?
102. Do you know how much the female has?
300 something?
205.
Oh, so just double. Okay.
Yeah, straight up, the females have double the option than men. Fuck you, you're not allowed to complain. They fixed this on ZA,
They also have
and
dresses.
ZA is not gender locked at all.
They also have the dress option, which is a full outfit. And the men don't get that because men don't wear full outfits like that. They just wear t-shirts and shorts and drive Buicks.
Yeah, there's straight up a dresses category here.
Yeah. Again, technically, am I wrong to say that if their old head equals, they may also be pedophiles? No, I'm not right. But I'm not as wrong as you think.
I honestly don't like this type of thinking. I don't agree with it. We don't have any evidence to support otherwise, and just speculating on it is just going to make everyone feel creeped out.
True.
Like,
I'm sorry.
Like, you can say what you want, but it's like, I can't disagree, because you're basically accusing without saying I'm not accusing. And I can't get behind that, dude. I can't.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Because of the makeup of my team, actually getting through this was a battle of attrition. Again, the fights themselves aren't difficult, but the damage scaling is so high that you just get one-shot by a lot of different moves. I've been of the—
That was a physical attack! You are not physically defensive! You're not even defensive! Your best stat is defense stat is special attack. So anything that's not that, special defense, sorry. Anything that's not that, you're just gonna get one shot.
Yeah, why are you surprised that the fragile glass speedster is dying? What? That's its whole job. What? Sorry, are you talking about Amora or Flaginder?
No, we're talking about Colia.
Oh, okay, sorry, I saw the Flaginder is like, oh, Flaginder, yeah, no, Flaginder is meant to be like glass.
No, because, well, to be fair, this also goes to Fletchender, but it's like, we saw the fucking the Colia die in like one hit from Amora.
Yep.
And that's like one complaint. It's like, it's a physical attacker. What did you expect? What was a physical attack?
Amora's a special attacker.
It is, but it's a 59 attack, which is not that bad, and again, still better than Colia.
True.
the opinion for a while that Pokemon is way too centered around one-shots. Between stat buffing moves increasing your stats by up to 4 times their regular amount, and super effective moves increasing that damage by another 400% at times, the game is too centered around sweeping. It's boring.
You send out a flying fire type against a goddamn rock type, and you got hit by, to be fair, it was Bond, which just made that which pretty much made that quad effect just super effective. So double damage, and yeah.
I lost in this fight, so I'm going to complain about it.
Yep.
It's boring when I'm sweeping, it's boring when I'm being swept, and it's not
So
hard.
how the hell
This
did
is why
Captain get
complaints that the EXP share ruins the difficulty just flat out don't work. The game isn't hard if the enemy just hits harder than your maximum HP, but it's easy to design. It's easy to make a game feel difficult if your HP just gets crunched from a single hit, and a lot of people will take that to mean that the game is hard. But my opponents aren't really doing anything smart. They just have inflated stats and use high power moves. Actually making the fights difficult, bringing the sheer amount of damage to a quarter of what it usually is, and making enemies play smarter takes more development time. And we all know how pathologically lazy Game Freak can be. That would take time, and they want their money now. Delaying the game would make it better, but it would mean Satoshi Tajiri can't buy his 8th yacht, so one-shots it is. Fundamentally, Pokemon needs a math change. If you ask me to change one thing about Pokemon, I would change super effective moves so that instead of doing 200 or 400% regular damage, they do 125 to 150% of regular damage. That would fix so many problems and make so many strategies more viable. I'd also change crits so that they don't ignore stat changes. That was always dumb. I head out of the city.
Whoa, no, whoa.
I disagree with all of that.
Yeah, I mean, I generally kind of casually disagree with the whole rebalance thing. Again, get out of the game, idiot. But crits matter because stacking in this game is a major issue. So having a move that bypasses your stacked up defenses is an important part of the game.
And it's also legit a reason why I don't like Meowscarada's Flower Trick. Because it doesn't matter if you decrease the Meowscarada attack to near nothing. Doesn't matter if you jacked up your stats to high hell. None of those stat differences is gonna matter.
Mm-hmm.
And not to mention, it's like, dude, you're getting one-shotted because your team is shit. You're sending out a physical weak attacker to a rock gym, notorious for physical moves. You don't have a wall for physical damage. That's why you're getting swept. Not to mention Talonflame is quad weak. Well, it's not Talonflame yet, but still. It's quad weak to rock type. Even if you have its attack, which, yeah, I don't think you have Will-O-Wisp on though. It's just Ember, so good luck with that. You're just gonna go take half damage. Not half damage, you're gonna take full damage. And more.
And despite all expectations, this gym is a surprising bit of a challenge. Amora is technically a pushover in the sense that you can definitely outstat them in speed and whatever, but it's still going to hit with a pretty reliable rock type attack and has ice type as well, which is a rare but meaningful type. Tyrant is actually scary. Dragon shuts down a lot of the issues rock type might have and answers with Tyrant being a decent physical attacker with, what do you know it, a rock type.
Yeah, 89 attack for Tyrant.
Yeah, you can definitely find a way to absolutely fold these guys, but if you don't have that, then they have a bit of the upper hand. It is surprisingly challenging. Does this mean it's worth ranting about the entire balance of Pokemon in general? No, because they are surprisingly challenging, not regularly challenging.
Oh, so you're essentially making super effective moves fucking pointless. There'll be no point at having coverage outside of, okay, yeah, no, this thing resists, I can't really use it. Or use my stab move. Because that's only 1 point, that being super effective is only a 0.25 increase, means that's not going to hit all that particularly harder.
Especially I threw that hard. I missed that in detail entirely.
Yeah, no, she wants to reduce the double effectiveness on hits down to a single 1.25. So if you are quad weak to something, you're only taking 1.50% more damage. Basically, stab.
That's disgusting.
That is so low, and it ruins a lot of Pokemon's game plan. Because, I don't know if you know this, Lily, but one-shot is kind of the name of the game when you're using sweepers. Because guess what you're trying to use? Specifically sweepers!
Why am I losing at rock, paper, scissors? Shouldn't I have the ability to be hit, have a secondary chance again and such?
What do you mean Scissors is losing to rock? Scissors should beat rock!
Yeah, scissors should not be oh, it got hit by rock, here's a second chance to rethink your strategy. Scissors loses to rock, to paper, to scissors.
Seriously, Pokemon is just one big game of rock, paper, scissors. It's just that stats influences what rock, paper, and scissors effect is stronger.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot more nuance than IPS, but the basis of it is rock, paper, scissors. And that was, again, something many people find is just plain good. Sorry, I know I interrupted again, but point is, most people don't have an issue with this.
If we do what Lily proposes, everything's just gonna get gutted. Hell, it would make Gardevoir weaker.
more viable. I'd also change crits so that they don't ignore stat changes. That was always dumb. I head out of the city and into this weirdly ominous arrangement of stones and run into another member of Team Flare. And honestly, I find Team Flare kind of goofy. They're kind of like Team Plasma, but without the pretentiousness. I've got a scram with style. Absolute legend. I make it to Geosenge Town and immediately met with another member of Team Flare who rushes off into the distance. There he is! Let's get him! He ran off into a dead end and damn it, I want to beat up a twink! Whatever, I decided to move on, but I was immediately harassed by Skater Lady and her weird-ass Lucario, and she wants to battle. Once I beat her, she tells me to stop by her gym and say hello. What a weird running gag. Funnily enough, Geosenge Town is the second town I have completely run past and done nothing in. En route to the next town, which included the longest battle with a Solosis I have ever seen, I was called by Professor Sycamore. He tells me about a Mega Evolution guru in the next town. I'm starting to think maybe he's making this whole thing up. Nobody knows what Mega Evolution is, Sycamore. I proceed into Reflection Cave, which has these mirrored walls that means trainers can see you if you're behind them. Well, that's pretty cute. I like that. That's a fun dungeon gimmick. The dungeon is rather long, though, and I'm running into the same problem of just getting one-shot by everything. Making it to Shallor City, I ran into Trevor and Tierno, who are
Okay. Let's see. 257.
What's up? Oh, you're checking the team again?
Yeah.
Let's see.
okay.
1. And I had to
Yeah,
check
did
on
she just
Melwack.
not? Yeah, did she not just not grab the Marowak at the point where we get Cubone? I don't like. It's right there. Maybe she's gonna say, "Oh, actually, since I kept getting one shot, I backtracked and grabbed a Marowak because it's this exact issue."
Yeah,
It'd be
I know.
funny.
So yeah, her only physically defensive Pokemon is a Melwack and Aegislash.
Aegis, and I guess it is Aegislash. I like Aegislash better. Fuck you.
Well, too bad. You're the incorrect one.
Fuck you.
Fuck you. Anyways.
Oh.
Oh fuck! What did I say it was?
And those Pokemon noticed there are 3 Pokemon that got the ones. Every enemy hit.
No, fuck. I've lost where I am.
250 something maybe was it?
Yeah.
up a twink. Whatever, I decided to move on, but I was immediately harassed by Skater Lady and her weird-ass Lucario, and she wants to battle. Once I beat her, she tells me to stop by her gym and say hello. What a weird running gag. Funnily enough, Geosenge Town is the second town I have completely run past and done nothing in. En route to the next town, which included the longest battle with a Solosis I have ever seen, I was called—
Wait, so you go to a town, there's nothing in it, and that's a good thing?
I don't know. I honestly didn't quite catch if she thought that was good or bad. It was just
And
weird.
damn it, I want to beat up a twink.
So I had to replay this because if
Whatever, I decided to move on.
this is just
Wow.
breaking my brain.
That's fair.
But I was immediately harassed by Skater Lady and her weird-ass Lucario, and she wants to battle. Once I beat her, she tells me to stop by her gym and say hello. What a weird running gag. Funnily enough, Geosenge Town is the second town I have completely run past and done nothing in. En route to the next town, which included the longest battle with a Solosis I have ever seen, I was called by
Okay, so neither good nor bad, but it's still weird.
Professor Sycamore. He tells me about a Mega Evolution guru in the next town. I'm starting to think maybe he's making this whole thing up. Nobody knows what Mega Evolution is, Sycamore. I proceed into Reflection Cave, which has these mirrored walls that means trainers can see you if you're behind them. Well, that's pretty cute. I like that. That's a fun dungeon gimmick. The dungeon is rather long, though, and I'm running into the same problem of just getting one-shot by everything. Making it to Shallor City, I ran into Trevor and Tierno, who are talking about the Mega Evolution guru. Guys, there is no guru. I'm telling you, they're a fraud. They suggest going to the Tower of Mastery, and when I try to walk off, Tierno gives me an intriguing stone. Is this a keystone? Inside the Tower of Mastery is a big statue of a Mega Lucario. Oh, I can already see where this is going. Inside the statue is the Mega Evolution Guru.
Oh, but Mega Evolution Guru isn't my real name, of course.
I'm shocked and appalled, sir, but I think I'll learn to trust again. Tierno and Trevor join me, and it turns out the intriguing stone is just a rock. Thanks for just giving me junk, Tierno. Outside, the guru explains that Mega Evolution allows Pokemon to harness all kinds of energy to grow even stronger past their final evolution form. It's a lot of drama for what is effectively warp digivolving, but whatever. He only has one Megastone to offer, so only one of us can get the cool new battle gimmick.
Whoa.
I'll pass. Pokemon
Sorry, I'm getting into Digimon, so no, incorrect. Warp evolution is to literally step through multiple stages of evolution at once to transform from, say, a rookie to its final form. Mega evolution is taking a final form and pushing it to a next level. That's not warp evolution, that's just normal evolution, in, well, sort of, in the case that mega evolution is a temporary evolution.
But like that's the thing though, Digimon also just have standard evolution. They don't necessarily have to return back.
Yeah, but anyway, the point is, warp evolution is a multi-step. That's the wrong terminology.
Leave it to Lily to fuck up random trivia.
Leave it to me to nerd out about random trivia.
Battling isn't really my scene. Tierno's got a good head on his shoulders. I like Tierno. Shauna and Trevor also pass, leaving just me and Caleb to fight for it. I win the fight, which was just another fight where the enemy takes too little damage and you take too much. I'm finding I'm drifting out a lot more playing this game. Wait, did I say that already? Like, I like it better than Generation 5, but at the same time, it's having a bit of a tranquilizing effect on me. Oh, right, now that I got it working, it's time to talk about Pokémon Me, a feature of Generation 6 and 7, which probably goes alongside walking Pokemon as the single best idea Game Freak ever had. Pokémon Me is pretty simple. You can pet and feed and play with your Pokemon. Are we all clear? In the pantheon of things Pokemon fans have wanted forever, the ideal Pokemon feature is for my tiny little gremlin baby to curl up in my lap and have a little sleep like an eldritch cat. So letting you pet and play with your Pokemon is fucking great. The game gives you an additional affection stat alongside it, which causes your Pokemon to throw off status effects and emote in battle, and that's also a really good addition. Every Pokemon has their own preferred food, games, and places they like to be petted. For instance, the Ralsline likes to be petted on the head. But don't touch the horn.
Don't ever touch the horn.
That's it. It's not a complex feature. You get to pet a butterfly. What's not to love? Look at her feet wiggle. Look how they wiggle. Oh, yeah, I can't actually do Mega Evolution until I go back to the fight to the gym. The gym is a fighting type gym, which means G's 4x resistance.
It almost makes you forget that she made a crazy comic about Pokemon that we won't get fully into. It's like, man, maybe she's not a freak. Oh, wait a minute.
Remember, the fucked up one wasn't even the Pokemon one. The fucked up one was a My Little Pony one.
Ah.
The fighting type attacks is going to come in very handy here. And she evolved on the gym trainers. Weakness is past us. Now we're going to slaughter the region. Making it to the center.
Have fun when you get hit by... Actually, Crunch it would not be neutral. And a good Dark type would still do a lot of damage with Crunch. Although what is fair? I guess it would be more like Poison Stab. Or Steelhead. Steelhead would fuck her up.
I finally get to fight Karina and... Shit, this music is kind of good. The fight was a no-brainer. G has a supreme advantage here, and now she's fully evolved, she's no longer crumbling from a single hit. Then Karina tells me I have to go back up to the Tower of Mastery if I want the Mega Ring. I swear, I'm not giving you the runaround. Yeah, you are, Karina. Getting to the top, Karina gives me the Mega Ring, and Lucario, that's been sniffing me the entire game, wants to battle alongside me. Now that we finally have it, it's time to talk about Mega Evolution. Mega Evolution is activated once per battle to evolve a set number of Pokemon to a more advanced form. This increases their base stats by 100 points, sometimes gives new types, and sometimes gives new abilities. Mega Evolution was, in theory, a way to breathe new life into Pokemon that were largely relegated to the bottom tier, because apparently buffing their base stats just isn't on the table for some reason. So Pokemon like Kangaskhan, Pinsir, Aerodactyl, Ampharos, Heracross, Mawile, Medicham, Banette, and Abomasnow could get some buffs and provide new value into battle. It's a really good system in theory. Take the undervalued Pokemon and give them some juice. This is probably one of, if not the, best ideas they've ever had to breathe new life into the game. The problem is, unfortunately, Game Freak just gotta do a Game Freak and ruin it because they also gave them to the Kanto starters, Lucario, Garchomp, Gardevoir, several legendaries, Blaziken, and fucking Mewtwo. The last Pokemon to ever need buffs. And when you can only have one Mega Evolved Pokemon per team, you're probably going to use it to make a broken fan favorite even more broken.
We were on the verge of greatness. We were this close.
Worse even.
And yet, some of the Pokemon that needed a buff, like Kangaskhan and Mawile, actually saw competitive play. Compared to...
Yeah, she's like, so entirely wrong.
Don't get me wrong.
Do we let her finish the point, or...?
Yeah, let's finish the point, and then we'll go into it in detail.
Charizard and Mewtwo got 2, and their Y forms really do feel like the versions that the developers wanted to make, and the X forms were thrown in for the sake of 22-year-old boys who haven't gotten past their must-be-badass phase. Why would you make a system designed specifically to breathe life into underused Pokemon, and then hand most of the Megas over to already overused Pokemon? Look, Gardevoir is my favorite Pokemon, but it didn't need any of the buffs it got in this gen, let alone Mega Evolution. Furthermore, the game hands you a free Mega Lucario unless you deliberately refuse to take it. So we're not 3 badges in, and I already have Mega Evolution, and were the game played properly, I would have had a Mega for a Kanto starter and a Mega Lucario. I can't help but feel that this is a touch broken, especially given that Mega Evolution is supposed to involve the bond with your Pokemon, and yet your first instance of using it is with a Pokemon you just got. This is only further compounded by the fact that Mega Evolution is fucking broken. 3 badges in, and I have a super powerful Pokemon capable of Mega Evolving. The entire game just got rendered embarrassingly easy. This game goes out of its way to destroy the difficulty at every turn. People blame the EXP share for that, but no, it's not the EXP share. It's the 2 starters you get at the beginning of the game. It's the Nidoking and Gardevoir and Ampharos and Doublade you can get before the 4th gym. It's the dual Mega Evolving Pokemon you get before the 4th gym. Fuck the EXP share. The EXP share did nothing wrong. You want a culprit? Look at Mega Lucario over here. Look, I'm just gonna put it out here. Mega Evolving should not require a stone. It should require an actual representation of the bond with your Pokemon. Like, oh, I'm just throwing it out here, the affection stat you introduced in this exact fucking game? I shouldn't need to give G a special rock for her to Mega Evolve. The fact that...
Sorry, those fucking lines for a second there.
Gosh.
Oh my fucking god, we know you want to.
Yeah. Anyways, me and the... Oh my god, she's still not done. Oh my god.
For her to Mega Evolve, the fact that we're already BFFs should suffice. Mega Evolution is a fun mechanic, but it's hampered by Game Freak's usual bullshit. In spite of all of that, it was certainly popular. So popular, in fact, that Game Freak's been making cheap knockoffs of it ever since. In Cormarine City, I have a brief...
Okay, before we get into all of that, because she has several things wrong.
I want to lead with a joke, sorry.
Go for it.
Me in the trying to be as wrong as possible competition when my opponent is Lily Orchard.
Technically saying Orchard is incorrect.
Yeah, sorry. I just felt it
I'm
rolls off the tongue.
I'm just saying, it adds to the joke if you know. It adds to the joke if you know.
Yeah. Oh my god. It's like there's not even a single right statement in any of that, and it just kept going.
Okay, here's the problem. Do I agree that some of the Pokemon that got Mega Stones don't need it? Yes, I don't agree that Legendaries really needed it. Some might have, considering Legendaries are on a scale of usefulness. And even then, most of the time they're just trophy Pokemon. But like, oh yeah, this been the next couple generations recreating it. Dynamax is nothing like Mega Evolution. Terrestrialization is nothing like Mega Evolution. The closest thing you have is not even Z Crystals. Hell, Z Crystals are basically just a weaker Dynamax.
Every one of them was a unique idea after the fact, but I'll get back to that.
Yeah, no, I just want to get that out of the way. But no, it's
Firstly,
go, you saw it.
Firstly and foremostly, the point of Mega Evolution was the primary point at least, was never to buff underused Pokemon. The initial point was to introduce something cool and exciting that would catch people's eyes and draw in purchases. The initial point of Mega Evolution was to be, wow, this is incredible! And so, that's why they give it to the Kanto starters, Lucario, some legendaries even, because it's not here to buff them, it's here to make them look cooler and feel more special. They realized, as they were developing, that they could also use it to make other Pokemon who have seen no use lately shine brightly. Which is great. It's actually adding to the competitive in a meaningful way. Sort of, kind of. It's complicated.
Mega Kangaskhan with Power Up Punch, go fucking bar.
Yeah, that's the complicated part. On one hand, many of them got more reasonable buffs to help them see relative use. However, some of them got such absurd buffs that they were completely knocked it out of the park. Not only Mega Kangaskhan, but Mega Lucario went from absolute trash, why would you ever use this thing, to Uber God that can challenge anyone else in the Uber tier.
Oh, if anything, Lucario belongs in the former. Because Lucario's stats were not that great. And for wanting to be a special attacker, it's definitely have better physical moves.
Yeah, I could go on a whole tirade about Lucario, but I'm gonna not do that, because that's not what this video is about.
No. And also, one thing I want to point out is I held item is for item balancing reasons. You also can't just give every Pokemon a Mega Evolution, because that's a lot of design, that's a lot of thought process. They did not have the time for that shit. They were trying to add a whole new system in place on a whole new system.
And we know full well that when they would try something like that, they would introduce Dexit, which completely gutted Pokemon entirely.
Yep. And yeah,
Anyways, I'm trying to remember some of the points.
The Pokemon. Like, this is when the National Dex kind of died.
No, the National Dex does not mean that every Pokemon is catchable in that singular game. That's never been the case.
Well, no, sorry, I should probably go and rephrase what I mean. Wasn't this the one where, like, the model gotta catch them all truly died? Cause...
Gen 6?
Was it Gen 6 or was it Gen 7? Oh, not 7,
Gen 8. It was Gen 8. Oh my goodness.
Never mind. My memories of
it was in... Sorry, Dexit was introduced in Generation 8. Until then, the National Dex continued to exist. While not every Pokemon was catchable in a singular game, that was never the point. You were always supposed to trade up some Pokemon that were simply inaccessible. Others would, of course, be made accessible once you got the National Dex, but they couldn't possibly fit every single Pokemon into the wild encounters, and that's fine. Use the transfer feature. They made it for a reason. Hell, Black and White, at least, if not Black and White 2, made it into a fun game.
I'll say this, my memories got fuzzy, I apologize. Remember, it's been literal years since Sword and Shield was even announced.
Yeah, anyways, I'm trying to remember some of the other points besides what we're currently paused on that she made.
She was talking about Keystones on how they should have used just Pokemon Army in order to show Mega Evolution, in order to achieve Mega Evolution and not a fucking held item. And again, balancing reasons, and if we go for that way, guess what? Now for every Pokemon, you will need to make a, well, not every Pokemon, every final stage Pokemon will now need a Mega Evolution. So guess what? Charmander will still have a Mega. Latios will still have a Mega. You just made the problem worse. Because now every Legendary is gonna have it.
How would everyone have it if, no. Well, no, you would still have to. Well, you would still be able to delineate. You would still be able to delineate who does and doesn't have a Mega Evolution, even if you could get everyone to max affection. That argument just doesn't make sense. Anyways, as for that, yes. Firstly and foremostly, the balance. Sorry, I should let you go.
Because that's the big thing. It's like, the reason why it's a fucking held item is to keep it balanced, so then we can't get something like Choice Specs Mega Lucario, Choice Specs Mega Kangaskhan.
Yeah, like, so casual reminder.
It's supposed to go and help limit that, and also it helps on the development side of things, because they don't have to worry about, they get to choose which Pokemon can Mega Evolve and which ones cannot. If you make it so that it go through a universal system, then you're going to have people that are going to be disappointed where they try to reach max affection just to realize, oh wait, this one can't Mega Evolve for whatever fucking reason. The Keystone makes it quite clear which Pokemon you can Mega Evolve.
Okay, that is true, but also just Google it. Anyways, sorry, casual reminder of competitive. When they introduced Rayquaza, when they introduced Mega Rayquaza with no Mega Stone, because he canonically ate his and now it's in his belly, he just knocked things out of the park. Anything goes did in fact exist before Rayquaza. However, Rayquaza was immediately sent to it. Mega Rayquaza was immediately sent to it because on top of just how powerful a Mega Evolution is on its own, having access to any items you desire drastically improved his performance in ways other Mega Evolutions could never.
Live Stone, Choice Specs, a berry.
Me when I choice bands and have to keep switching out. It was a fun strategy for a hot minute.
It is, but it's like, that's kind of the thing, though. It's like, Mega Evolution in a held item is fucking broken. Mega Rayquaza is still a threat to this very day and should never be brought back. At least not with, at least not without the Keystone. That bitch better hold the fucking Mega Stone. Otherwise, it is literally too powerful to live.
Yeah, it's bad. Anyways,
It's bad.
As for the story implication side of thing, yeah, it's pretty dumb, and I never really thought about it with how the Pokemon you just met is willing to Mega Evolve, but I don't know, man. It'd just be tough to properly implement things, as we was already saying, what with how you wouldn't know who can and can't anyways. So yeah, story-wise, it'd be great to see if you have to actually raise affection, but at the same time, it may be difficult to implement.
Oh, so it'd be kind of annoying since don't forget, in this game, a lot of the Mega Stones are post-game. So you
so you'd have to keep playing even longer.
Yep, so you have to play even longer. You'd have to go find, like, let's say I go find Aggron Knight. And I didn't know Aggron could evolve. Now I have, well, not evolve. I didn't know Aggron had a Mega Evolution. Now I have to go hunt down an Aggron. Well, one of the Aggron members. But if I just, like, catch an Aggron, and I can't just immediately put it on there to go see what it is, I have to go through Pokemon and me. Which, remember, you can't max that shit out right away. You actually have to go into it, feed, pet, do other things, and then go back to it to max that affection out. So I would have to do that on top of, like, all the other training. And it's just...
yeah.
a bit much. It's like, again, the Mega Stone makes it very clear and precise. It's mostly gameplay, I will not deny that. But it makes it available, even if it does kind of fuck with the story a bit. Actually, no, it actually fits in the story pretty well, because Mega Stones are evolution stones that are filled with a lot of light energy due to the ultimate weapon.
Oh yeah. Anyways, I want to have a quick aside about Pokemon and me.
Sorry.
Since she already did mention it, and I don't know if she'll ever get back to it. But as much as I adore Pokemon and me for what it does, the grind is absurdly slow. The weird detail is enjoyment, which is the musical note thing, is actually an energy bar for whether or not they're going to gain affection from petting and other such actions. Not food, thankfully, but petting them, the main way you build that up, is entirely dependent on how happy they are at the moment. If they aren't, they will just run out, and you'll have to do things like play games with them. Which, fair, but that constant back and forth, it makes a slow system. Such a slow system, in fact, that when they brought it back as Pokemon Refresh in Sun, Moon, Ultra Sun, and Ultra Moon, not only did they introduce the healing your status feature, which allowed you to passively, actually, not even healing stat, just the cleanup feature afterwards helped you passively build up more meaningfully, and they introduced the Pokebeans, which upgraded all the way to Rainbow, would make it almost trivial to reach maximum affection with a given Pokemon. That said, because of the length it takes, I honestly see that as a plus, not a minus.
But yeah, but imagine having a very key feature locked behind that. That
Exactly.
That's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. Also,
Oh yeah, they did actually. It's Sylveon. Do you want to know the funny thing?
Yeah.
Sylveon only requires 2 Hearts of Affection in order to evolve. They knew even then that they couldn't lock things behind it that badly.
Yep. Because that's the thing with Eevee, you can essentially evolve Eevee the moment you get it. The friendship evolution will take a bit, but friendship, some people hate friendship evolutions. I would never find them that bad, but I also try to capture them in the early stages.
Yeah, I like Billy Minty early.
But yeah. And also something I want to mention is that even then, story-wise, that honest, and this probably is just due to Legend ZA and what we learned about Orvas. But honestly, the more I think about it, the more I wonder if that's actually not that big of a deal, because the Lucario already likes you, And if we are correct that the bond between Pokemon and Trainer more so is to prevent like rogue mega evolution, then like that works in this case. Like it might be very loose compared to some of the others, but it's not entirely out of the realm of possibility. And hell, you get the same thing happen in Pokemon ZA, where you're given a Lucario for a Mega Fight. And the Lucario listens to you because it is well trained and it will do what it needs to save people. So it's like, that's also another thing, is that you can build trust quickly.
Yep.
So it's like, I don't know. I'm just trying to think about it. It's like, I can kind of see with this point, but with how things are in the later games, I wonder if this is not as big of a plot hole as we initially thought.
True.
But to be fair,
I
this
mean,
came out before ZA, so...
Yeah. I would love if there was a story moment where you can, build an emotional bond with the Pokemon in question. I love that kind of emotional gushy shit. But again, it's also somewhat impractical gameplay wise, and it's hard to judge whether to go for that risk or not.
So I'm just trying to get back to the start of it, because I think we more or less talk about Mega. I don't want to go through that long ass rant to find out if we miss anything.
Let's not, but it does remind me at the ending point, I'm surprised she didn't bring up the actual issue of they never kept Mega Evolution past Generation 7, which is such a bad thing. Yes, and you can't even say, but it's not good to include it all the time. Gen 7 included it as post-game only for this exact reason. So, fuck you.
I will say this. This is ultimately a downside of Mega Evolution, is the fact that it can't be brought back. And this was something that I had a criticism of way back when Sun and Moon was being released. It's like, well, even before then with X and Y, it's like, yeah, but once they'd have to keep this gimmick going throughout the rest of the series. Otherwise, this just gets locked. And lo and behold, it got fucking locked. With Champions, hopefully that will forever change. With Champions being a thing. I
would hope it's in Winds and Waves.
I would like it to be. I would not be surprised if it isn't, though, because it's a new gen that wants its new own identity. It's like, I love the feature, but it's also not something that realistically we can keep going forever.
No, I think we can. I think Game Freak just wants this crazy new gimmick and refuses to implement both its new gimmicks and its old gimmicks. There's a reason why in Pokemon Showdown, a lot of these things are preserved.
Don't forget though, Pokemon Showdown is just a battle simulator that spends more of its time on that. Game Freak is designing new Pokemon, designing balances, having to bring past stuff over. If it has lore restrictions like Dynamaxing is really only in Galar, okay, how does Dynamaxing work in this new location when you had very specific spots where it could have been possible in? Now you have to rework the lore on that one. They have to write the story for everything. Trying to move every single part when the certain gimmicks are regional. Again, terrestrialization is technically not regional, but it's a phenomenon that's really only shown in Paldea and in Blueberry Academy, where they literally have crystals from Paldea to mimic said thing.
Yeah, I get it. It's just so dumb. It's just so dumb to lock it like that.
The problem is, though, again, it's just due to the simple fact that Pokemon is huge. It's getting more and more impossible to include everything. That's the issue of it. Pokemon is too big of a franchise.
Yeah, I guess.
Certainly popular. So popular, in fact, that Game Freak's been making cheap knockoffs of it ever since. In Cormarine City, I have a brief conversation with the professor and Diantha about the bonds of Mega Evolution, and then at the gym I run into Calum, who wants to battle me so he can see Mega Evolution for himself. I mean, if you insist, mate. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I actually did hack in a Gardevoir so that I could use Mega Evolution with the Pokemon I actually have, and not have to carry around one that I fucking hate. The trade-off being that, well, I'm not using either of the other two I got. I don't really feel like this is cheating. It is kind of a lateral move. I mean, the only other option is to not use Mega Evolution at all, and, well, I needed footage to talk about it, so. After that, it's the gym. It's a Grass-type gym, which was—
Then choose a fucking starter! Have Bulbasaur, Charmander, Flash choice. Do you like any of them? You chose Venusaur for your first game. Why don't you have that one? You gonna say anything?
Obsessing. No, just she's too obsessed.
Yeah.
Mostly handled by Fletchinder and Amara until the leader's Go-Goat started breaking out the one-shot moves again. I'm not going to keep complaining about that, I'm just going to say I miss Gen 2 where I could get stuck in a mind reader hypnosis trap. After I have the 4th
Oh, I'm sorry. You'd send out a quad weak to ground Pokemon and a fucking super a weak to double. What's the one I'm looking for? Double damage Earthquake. Yeah. Send out your Steel type and your ground Ice type against. Actually, wait, no. Ice is a big ground. Well, Ice doesn't resist ground.
Okay. It's Rock Ice,
Rock.
which is
I
only
don't-
2 times weak to ground type, and then Steel Ghost, which is also only 2 times weak to
I
ground
don't
type.
know why I keep thinking ground beats ice. I'm just always thinking of the earth shaking and shattering ice for some reason.
That's why you don't usually do. I don't study it by logic. I study it by what the chart says.
But that type of thing can help you remember.
I've never liked that kind of way of remembering.
That's the dogs are barking for some reason.
badge, Lysander of all people calls me. Professor Sycamore told me you can now wield Mega
Okay, 1 second. Okay, what were we talking about again?
Evolution.
I
Hey,
think
I
we were
miss
letting
Gen
her
2
ramp.
where I could get
type-
stuck in a
type
mind reader
advantages.
hypnosis.
Yep. Yeah, you said a Steel type and a Rock type against an Earthquake and Go-Go. What did you expect?
You know, I was gonna say I'm surprised that Honedge isn't surviving considering they're supposed to be defensive, but then I realized, why is that still a Honedge?
When does it usually evolve?
I believe level 22. Let me check. Evolves into Doublade starting at level 35.
Oh.
Why is it level 26 when you're fighting the Grass Gym?
Gen 2.
In fact, let's see if we can even see what this Pokemon's level is. 28. Also, you know, it's funny when she's like, hey guys, the EXP share isn't the issue. It's actually kind of goated. And even with the overpowered EXP share giving half EXP to all of her Pokemon that aren't active, she is still almost 10 levels behind the gym.
Like, yeah, no fucking Honedge goddamn died. Like, what the fuck?
Man, why is my unevolved stage 1 of 3 Pokemon dying to a ×2 Earthquake? Why is my physically frail Amora dying to Earthquake? I don't know. Could it be that you suck?
The
See,
leader's
just how bad is
Go-Goats
Amora's
started
physical defense?
breaking out the
Oh, that's
one-shot
laughable.
moves again. I'm not going to keep complaining about that. I'm just going to say I miss Gen 2 where I could get stuck in a mind reader hypnosis trap. After I have the 4th badge, Lysander of all people calls me. Professor Sycamore told me you can now wield Mega Evolution. That is truly wonderful. With that power, you can steer your future in a better direction. We can't just cover up the old filth with new filth. I implore you to consider what we need to do to change the world into a new, beautiful world. Well, that was a weird call. I am a child. Why are you asking me to change the world? I run into those kids again who give me another firmware update for my Pokedex. Why is there so much firmware? I'm then told about how the power outage in Lumio City means I can't use the gate to get back, so I should investigate the power station. Surprise, surprise, Team Flare is there. After I beat him, I get a clue as to how to progress. This is stylishly bad. If someone found the power planet pass I dropped while I was fumbling around by the big rock, and then that hypothetical someone proceeded to the power plant just past here, that would be seriously, stylishly a hot mess. I'm sure if we put our heads together, we can figure out this riddle. By the rock, I found a power plant pass. Interesting clue. But what does it mean? Oh, it opens the power plant. Bit anticlimactic, really. Inside the power plant, the place has been taken over by Team Flare. Once I circle around their grunts, I met with their lead scientist. Allow me to introduce myself, intruder. My name is... No. No, there's no way.
You're just a cheap imitation of the real thing.
As you can see, I'm one of Team Flare's scientists. I'm researching a certain something that you wouldn't understand anyway. Unfortunately for you, I've been charged with the simple task of your elimination. Unfortunately for Eliana, that's gonna bother me the rest of the game. I'm not a rookie, and so she gets crushed. Upon returning to Lumio City, Shauna runs up to tell me that somebody managed to get the power back on.
I did that.
What? No way! You bitch! I fucking love this game. X and Y is a perfect game for this feature alone. Shauna wants to go see Prism Tower, but I decided to take a stop at the center first to— Where are you going? Oh, come on, you were doing so well. So at Shauna's behest, I head to Prism Tower, where I met two kids from the anime who light up the tower.
No,
in the
no,
middle—
stop it. This has been the entire game. She's just been so lucky as to not bother to explore at all until now.
Genuinely.
If she bothered to wander around the game, she would find a lot of this sprinkled throughout. It's a Pokemon staple. It's not as bad as she wants to make it out to be. It does kind of suck, though. And so trying to be like, oh, Gen X and Y, they're not so bad about all the railroading and such. They wouldn't railroad me that much.
Get railroaded, bitch.
So at Shauna's behest, I head to Prism Tower, where I met two kids from the anime who light up the tower in the middle of the day. Now I have another great memory with you, bitch. Ah, Shauna, you are nothing but great memories. Lumio's Gym is a gym centered around trivia, where if you get the right answer, you still battle the trainer. That's weak. You had one job, Clement. The fight with Claymont was a lot easier because I have Mega Evolution now, and so the only real issue was Claymont dropping 4 Hyper Potions on one Pokemon. Then the professor calls, asking me to meet him at Lysander Cafe. Dude has his own cafe? Meeting them there, they talk more about Mega Evolution and how Lysander is apparently descended from royal blood. Then he talks about how people can be divided into groups of those who give and those who take. Oh no, he's evolved into Ayn Rand. He talks about an ultimate weapon that once washed away the filth of the world, which we now know to mean people. So we've gone from eco-terrorists to whatever the fuck Cyrus was on about to a fascist dictatorship to just flat-out genocide. What Lysander says is only one way of looking at things. It's not a way of looking at things, Professor! He wants to kill a whole bunch of people! How is that perspective? Stepping onto Route 14, which was very—
It definitely is a perspective. Not a very good one, but it is
not
his
on this.
perspective.
No, they shouldn't have waffled about that.
Nah, they really shouldn't have. At this point, I just want to disagree with Lily just to disagree.
Better time and place for that.
Yeah. Oh god, I can hear Professor Oak's words right now.
Put that bike in the
Very
backpack.
disorient-
You're not using it here.
might I add, I run into Trevor and Caleb, who wanted to check my decks and challenge me respectively. Then Shauna comes up wondering where Tierno was, and Trevor said he was at the fighting dojo. Wait, what? You were at the fighting dojo? I was having so much fun with a sparring dance. Oh, okay, I get it now. They all decide to go check out a haunted house, and then Shauna asks me why I'm traveling and confesses that she feels like she's wasting her life just goofing around. Oh, no, come on, Shauna, don't get angsty on me. Just kidding. Oh god, you nearly gave me a heart attack. We arrive at the spooky—
Yeah. Did Lily just miss that?
As in, she didn't think that Shauna is actually hiding her issues with a cheeky remark.
Yeah, I was like, you know, I'm pretty sure she doesn't even know what she wants to do, considering she gives away her Pokemon near the end. And I was like, wait, what? That just kidding. It's like, wait, either I'm looking too much into this, or Lily just missed a fucking trope.
Yeah. Chances are she missed it because that would require thinking about a story where the character is actually having a conflict.
So like, typically, yeah, say deep dark thing of your personal insecurities. Mask it with, just kidding. Like that
Yep,
is...
a common deflect.
That is like the most common deflect of them all.
house to find that it's a shed. It's just a shed with some windows. Hey, wait a minute, didn't someone once say something about people going in her shed? We arrive inside the shed, only to find an old man who proceeds to tell us a scary story and then ask for a tip. Ah, it's the gig economy! Let's get out of here! Heading into Laver City, can you guess what the only thing to do is?
I'm gonna be honest, I had Cynthia flashbacks. I was like, no. No, it can't be!
That's right, it's the gym. This time, it's a posh mansion that specializes in fairy-type Pokemon, with a gym puzzle that's just Saffron Gym again, and the leader is...
A fairy?
a horrifying creature with pupils the size of dinner plates. This battle was actually fun. Not difficult, but Valerie's Mr. Mime brought out a reflect, which means some AI was actually coded here. You see, I've always wanted to be a Pokemon. Oh no, she's a furry. I have to get out of here. I step outside and Shauna and Trevor rush up to tell me that I have...
Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up.
You don't get to, just, like, be who you are and say, I'm not a furry.
Why are the dogs relentless today? Like,
They got it in their head that they must bark.
I wish I could do something about it. I currently can't. Like, it doesn't look like they're being picked up on the mic, but I don't know. They could do it, especially.
I was not hearing them at this time.
Okay. I don't know. Sorry, that distracted me. What were we talking about? Oh, right.
Lily not being a furry, except she legitimately and entirely is.
She's definitely a brony, I'll give you that much.
Hey.
to check out the Pokeball factory. Not sure what's so interesting about that, but after a quick stop to put on a raincoat, I head up there and, oh, well, I can see we're gonna have a good time. The Team Flare guard chases off Shauna and Trevor, and Tierno goes off to help. Caleb suggests that I should check out what's going on inside while the guard is busy murdering my friends. Caleb's got his priorities straight. We get inside and, do you have to take a part-time job to pay for that ugly suit?
Damn!
Okay,
Wow.
Caleb's good
Okay.
too. I like Caleb. We're reviving me,
Okay.
Caleb.
Damn! Not wrong, but damn!
Yeah.
Oh, so just this is a side note. This is a minor thing. Like, yeah, look at the what's so interesting about the Pokeball factory. It's a place that you get, you know, your fucking essentials from, essentially, due to how important Pokeballs are for Pokemon trainers. It's like going to your local winery and seeing how the local wine is made. Like, that's interesting shit. May not be everyone's cup of tea, but that's interesting, and you can get a free sample.
Mm-hmm.
I went to a winery once. It was interesting. I was too young, so I couldn't drink, but...
Oh, yeah. Anyway, I need a moment myself. I need to check on my dog.
Got it. Pausing.
Okay, Caleb's good too. I like Caleb. We're vibing me and Caleb. At the back of the factory, I find the Totally Spies who try to fleece millions of dollars out of the foreman, but when he won't budge, suggests blowing the place to smith. Whoa! What is it with you guys and murder? After beating the admin, Caleb runs in to help with a double battle. G is looking at you with trusting eyes. G, focus on the battle! After I beat them, I run off when the president offers me a choice between a Master Ball and a
Yes!
eyes. G, focus
Booger is what this G desires.
on the battle. After I beat them, I run off when the president offers me a choice between a Master Ball and a Big Nugget, so I choose the Big Nugget because I'm hungry, but he gives me both anyway. Okay, well, I didn't want the Master Ball, so I'm just gonna toss it. Getting out of Route 15, I was immediately ambushed by someone jumping out of a pipe.
I'm not surprised, but at the same time, it's like, Lily, what do you hate against getting goodies?
Like, I mean, killing Suicune is one thing, but literally also going so far as to toss the Master Ball, preventing you from, you know, easily catching and therefore trivializing the other Pokemon you don't want to catch.
Again, the thing is, though, she doesn't want to fill the Pokedex at all. She just wants her 6, and that's it. And whatever HM slave she needs at the time.
Okay, but, like, don't just toss away the box legendary. I mean, if you really want to, as a challenge run, and fight them, sure, I guess. But as a retrospective, not so much.
So there's so much in the retrospective she's doing so wrong. It's not even a retrospective anymore.
It's making me want to see your retrospective, because I know even you can do better.
Honestly, it makes me want to do one. The problem is that's going to be a shit ton of time. Like, it's probably not, like, the first video probably won't be done until next year.
Yeah, true.
I'll try, but it's gonna be a while.
Pile of leaves. Don't sneak up on me like that. Sir, you jumped out of the fuck. I'm just gonna kick your ass now. I guess you.
Oh, I'm sorry. He jumped out because you startled him.
We're the ones surprised here. Oh, you think, Dean? I swear, some people will just do. And oh, fucking! Why are all the park rangers hiding in the leaves? Making it to Dendemil Town, I get a cost.
Avoid the leaves! You get the gimmick!
It's the mound gimmick all over again. What did you expect?
By Professor Sycamore, who tells me about the Legend of Eviltall, the resident legendary Pokemon for this version. This Pokemon represents death.
She's doing why?
I guess the dialogue doesn't change.
Huh. You know what? Fair enough, Lily. I really thought you'd pick X.
And I find a
I guess
Hexmaniac
she's
who's
just not
selling healing
gay.
items
Oh, wait a minute. She likes Gardevoir. What am I saying?
by the dozen. What a nice girl. Surely the internet will not be weird about you. Heading east, the route is blocked by...
Okay, to be fair, some versions of Hexmaniac, like in the official media.
It was by the dozen. What a nice girl. Surely the internet...
Like, the Hexmaniac, yeah, fair enough. And also, let's be glad that all of these are adults here.
Yeah, except the Hex Trainer, of course.
The Hex Trainer could be anywhere from teen to adult.
Maybe, I guess, but anyways.
Like, that's the thing with trainer classes,
like,
because we don't have a definite age, because it's supposed to be different people, they can have a range of ages between them.
Yeah. And, I mean, I could talk about how people get weird about the various trainer characters and such. I don't have the energy.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, let's be glad that these are the examples. And although, fucking based.
internet will not be weird about you. Heading east...
I just realized there was exactly 6 there for a team.
Interesting.
Lily, is this your harem? Or is this G's harem?
Let's not.
Sorry.
The route is blocked by snow. There's supposed to be a Mamoswine to give people rides, but he hasn't come down from the Frost Cavern. Heading north, I discover that he's worried about something in the cavern. So naturally, being the indentured servant of the linear plot, I mean the good Samaritan that I am, I go in to check. At the end of the cavern, I find Team Flare agitating an Abomasnow, claiming they're going to catch powerful Pokemon like it for their schemes. Powerful Pokemon, like Abomasnow. Have you not thought this through? Side note, isn't it weird they have animated battle models to every member of Team Flare, but none of the gym leaders? Anyway, I crushed them with the power of ballroom finery and they left. Trevor remarks that he thinks Team Flare is very frightening. Trevor, come on, have you seen them? Now that Mamoswine's gone back to the...
Excuse me, he's not a fighter! Trevor's never a fighter. He's probably the one you fight the least amount of. If not, how do you spell her name again?
I don't know.
Shauna. So I'm just looking at how often you fight her. She has
But,
2
like,
battles.
technically, even still, the grunts are still grunts. They still use only the most basic Pokemon you can catch, so technically they're kind of pushovers, so I don't know. He's just kind of afraid because they're being showboaty.
Okay, yeah, so you fight her.
Actually, hold on, no. There was an
this
admin in there. I just realized.
Yeah, those are admins.
Snow's very frightening.
Yeah, sorry, I take everything back. I forgot. That's an admin.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he has all right to be afraid of that, because if it's anything like Team Galactic admins, I would shit my pants.
Yeah, no, it is, yeah. Like, also, again, Trevor's not really that much of a fighter. Never has been. And it makes sense, because not everyone is designed for Pokemon battling. Even if he could handle the 2 trainers, there's still a fucking admin who would kick his ass.
You not thought this through? Side note, isn't it weird they have animated battle models to every member of Team Flare, but none of the gym leaders? Anyway, I crushed them with the power of ballroom finery and they left. Trevor remarks that he thinks Team Flare is very frightening. Trevor, come on, have you seen them? Now that Mamoswine's gone back to the snowbank, I can get through to Anastar City. When I get there, Caleb wants to have a battle in front of the gym, a battle he loses. I step into the gym. What the fuck? Oh, this is trippy. I think I'm getting vertigo. Oh, I don't like this. I really don't like this. A ritual to decide your fate and future. The battle begins. Not even an introduction, lady? Just right to it? I like you. The battle was a straight one-shot sweep.
I'll be honest, I know a friend that hates this gym, because it's just mostly just for show, and I'm like, yeah, no, but honestly, it's the new hardware. I honestly would give it to them, and besides, it's just extremely cool.
Yeah, like what? How could you have any bad opinion about this? This is some of the coolest shit ever.
My friend would have preferred something of like actual puzzles and mechanics, because this is very much like Gen 1 run around avoiding chainers if you can type of deal.
I
But you
guess.
also have to kind of think in like third perspective though, because you're running around to hit on teleporter pads to transfer you to the next layer. It's really cool, and honestly I like it. Then
Yeah.
I'm thinking of a different gem that is similar.
Because once again, Mega Evolution is broken. Then she just shuffles me on my way. Well, that was very brisk. Once I'm shuffled outside, Caleb just runs up asking for a rematch, but we're interrupted by Lysander calling us on the Holocaster to tell all trainers that Team Flare is going to revive the ultimate weapon and eliminate everyone who isn't in Team Flare to return the world to a beautiful natural state. Unproductive fools are consuming our future. Yeah, I remember when my dad was complaining about welfare queens and concluded the only solution was mass genocide. Oh wait, no I don't, because nobody fucking says that, Lysander Hall. This dude's off his fucking meds. Caleb suggests we head back to Lumio City, so I get to use Fly for the first time in the game. In Lumio City, we have to find Team Flare's hideout. Where could it be? Obviously in Lysander Cafe. Cabby, take me to a dangerous death cult's hideout. Today's special is Scramble. If you don't get out of here now, nailed it on the first try. At this rate, she'll figure out there's a hidden door to Lysander Labs. Oh, thanks, lady. You're terrible at your job. Ah, it's fine, they don't pay you enough. I find the hidden door and descend into the labs where Lysander is waiting to greet me and tells me only the Chosen will make it to tomorrow. Then he wants to fight. In all honesty, Lysander isn't the worst villain. I mean, he's clearly the most lazily written, but I don't object to that. Everything in this game is brisk and to the point. The sheer amount of dialogue that was seen in previous 2 generations is just not there. Lysander shows up, says, hey, we have a weapon of mass destruction. I'm gonna fucking use it. See, and this guy hasn't even been raised from birth to be part of the revolution, and he did a better job than you've ever done. Lysander says, I want to murder the world, gun, Lego, bam. None of this
But N doesn't want to destroy the world!
You know, I mean, if you didn't like enjoying a conflicting and full of depth story, then yeah, Lysander is in fact a pretty good villain. He keeps things simple to the point. He is extremely bad. He is almost ludicrously comedically bad. He has no nuance to his thoughts. He is strictly just somebody to make you go ick, then you beat them, and then you win. Except, wait a minute, we like actually good story where, oh, I don't know, somebody's having conflicting feelings about what they've been raised and what they personally believe.
Which, fun fact, N has that! N has that from, like, the first rule
That's
onwards.
the point. I was alluding to N.
I know. I'm just saying for people who never actually played Black and White, because, fun fact, Lily skipped over the entirety of N's story.
Yeah. Anyways, basically, if you like actually, having a story to your game, Lysander is pretty fall flat. He's too much two-dimensional. He is like ridiculously and comedically evil, more so than Team Plasma ever was, and they are already pretty comically evil. What with being PETA.
I'm gonna be honest. Lysander is probably the weakest villain to me. I'm sorry. Guzma is more compelling of a villain.
Whoa! Don't do my boy Guzma dirty. He's easily within like the top 5.
He is in the top 5, but I'm just saying, it's like even the villains from like the later on is better.
Yeah. Sorry, no. Guzma is an actually good character. Do not bring him anywhere near Lysanderoth.
Trust me, I love my boy. I love myself some Guzma. I had a Glissapod on my team specifically because of Guzma. He is the GOAT. Yeah.
I called him Lysanderoth. I accidentally just called him Lysanderoth legitimately.
Lysanderoth, oh god.
It's a good thing I always carry 2 guns.
I'm not just imagining you get to the fucking battle theme. It's like, you get to the battle, it's like, alright, let's end this. And then One Winged Angel started playing, like, what?
You didn't find all the eggs. It's Xmas. Looks like it's egg time.
Okay, we're getting off topic.
lounging about his castle, waiting for the hero to show up so he can try out his new speech about ideals. Lysander is one note, but he's a charming one note. I eventually got the elevator key and got down into the second basement to find that Lysander has captured the really tall guy from earlier. The tall guy tells me about a Pokemon he loves very much, I can relate, but who died in a big Pokemon war. So in order to bring his Floette back to life, he built a big machine that sucked the souls out of other Pokemon to resurrect it. As you do, grief naturally leads to necromancy, but then he was still very mad, and so he turned the machine into a weapon and committed genocide. But his precious Floette knew how many people he'd killed, and left because he was putting off some bad vibes.
Do you want to know unending pain? Like I have?
Sir, please calm down, you are an actual war criminal. Lysander then tells me to follow him to his chambers. Sir, this is very—
Okay. Fuck you.
This is your area of things. Go the fuck off.
Holy shit. Oh my god. There is so much. Hell, I honestly, fuck it. I'm going to spoil ZA. Because ZA makes oh my god. Z is a king from the ancient past. 3,000 years ago. He went and sent, was a king. He went and sent his, okay, so let me go and collect my thoughts real quick, because I am a bit agitated. Okay. So Z was a king long ago. We don't even know his name. We don't even know if Z is his actual name. However, Z was a king from long ago, 3,000 years. A war caused his beloved Floette to go, be drafted for war, essentially. Floette is a war veteran. And, yeah, she died tragically in, the war. And the tiny box was granted back. Z, being filled up with grief, which, by the way, he is fucking smart as hell. Holy shit. He went and created a machine that could go and restore life to a Pokemon. However, at the cost of this was several Pokemon. A bunch of Pokemon was essentially sacrificed to bring Floette back to life. And by doing so, it fundamentally changed Floette, making it so that it is no longer capable of evolving and giving it a black flower, the eternal flower, and so much power. This is the only Floette that knows the ability, the move, Light of Ruin. A very powerful, and if you played Legend ZA, a very fuck you move. It's essentially Fairy Hyper Beam in terms of appearance, and yet bigger. And so, Z, still being filled with rage, turned the restoration machine into a fucking death machine. And due to the amount of grief and harm that Z caused to the Pokemon, will cause Floette to go and essentially leave him for 3,000 years. Z went and moved on from Kalos, really. He went and explored the world all alone with no one by his side for 3,000 years. He traveled to Hoenn and learned a bit more about Mega Evolution, because fun fact, that started there, not Kalos. Z just inadvertently started it there. But no, Z learned more about Mega Evolution in Hoenn with Mega Rayquaza and shit. And all these 3,000 years, he was, again, just alone. Imagine being alone with your thoughts for that long, traveling the world, but having no one that could stay by your side, because it doesn't matter. Even if we say he had, like, a group of friends, 5 friends, hell, we could go and just give him, like, the entire of our main cast. Z would outlive them and watch each of them die if he stayed. Z was destined to be alone for those 3,000 years.
And imagine living that long knowing you've messed up entirely. Yeah. Unlike Lysander...
So go ahead.
Sorry, excuse me. Unlike Lysander, he didn't really want to cause genocide, as far as I can tell. I mean, I'm sure maybe in a fit of rage he did it, but...
But he regretted it, because it turned his only friend away from him.
That's technically a bit of a bad motivation, but yeah.
I'm sure it is, but it's like that was the realization of how much he fucked up. He does regret killing all those Pokemon, as you can see in ZA.
Well, yeah, but as I was trying to say, it's like, that's the pain. It's not the pain of, oh, I'm a genocider and I still live forever. It's, I messed up so terribly. And the more I live, the more I understand that.
And hell,
I will never be able to go back, and I will never see the one person I cared about the most ever again. Something you think that Lily would understand.
hell, even in ZA, and again, I know ZA did not exist when this got released. I'm just showing just how fucking disrespectful it is. In ZA, it is still you fixing Z's mistake. Because Z's mistake goes all the way to that. Because you know this is spoilers. This is spoilers, so I'm just gonna shut up here. But no, literally ZA is still fixing Z's mistake. Z fucked up royally. Also, he saw the darkest night. He lived in the darkest night.
That's
That's Galar.
Galar.
Because
Yeah.
Kalos, there's a theory that Kalos and Galar was the one that had war with each other.
Okay.
But yeah, no, Z's went and saw the darkest days. That was a bit interesting. He would see so much. That's also another thing. He would have seen so much horrors of the world and actually experience it. I'm pretty sure that didn't help with anything because he's just seeing around and it's like he's as big of a fuck up as the darkest day.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Just put fucking respect on Z's name. God damn. He's a giant ass fuck up who is still trying. Hell, he can't even. Because by the time A rolls around, he's too old to actually solve anything. And he regrets that he has to give the fate of the world, the fate of Kalos, something that he should have fixed to the player's hands.
Anyways, TLDR, Z is basically this game's N. Well, me and potentially others like me might overlook some of the story because it is truly, like, not exactly side stuff, but it's easy to overlook if you're more gameplay oriented.
Yeah.
There is definitely a powerful and incredible story within if you can study it, and once you do, they cooked. They absolutely cooked.
So just look up Bulbapedia Z. Just read his entry. I keep calling him Z. It's AZ.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that. Damn.
Sorry, my brain is just not working at the moment. I am.
We're fried by it, Lily.
Just look up AZ on Bulbapedia. You will see what I mean. AZ is a complicated character. Hell, he's the most complicated in this entire game.
Very inappropriate. I am only 10. Lily, why do you always assume that? It's an anime game, guys. I go to his chambers and get challenged by a pig.
And none of the actual protagonists are 10. I think the only like 10-year-old in Pokemon was Wally.
Tasty man who looks like he hasn't been outside in years. Ah, you designed the women's uniforms, didn't you? After I beat him, he tells me to push either the red or blue button, saying one of them will activate the ultimate weapon, but I don't know which one. What is this, fucking Sophie's Choice? I didn't sign up to play one of Jigsaw's games. So I pushed the red button, but that activated the weapon. Well, I guess I'm a war criminal now. It's okay, I can fix this. I just need to Google how to conquer death. Okay, it says here I need an inanimate object and someone I won't miss. After one stop at the center to change into my ass-kicking outfit, we're ready to stop a genocide before it happens. Arriving in Geosenge Town, I find that one grunt from the first time I was here. Now I'm back, stronger and more fabulous than before. The grunt is unable to handle the sheer pinkaliciousness of me and flees into the base. Calum joins me. Calum, you are not dressed for saving the world. Team Flair's whole thing is style. We have to intimidate them, go put on a pink ballroom gown, and take this seriously.
Even though
This is not ZA. You can't do that yet. No, this is I find it hilarious how many people chose the male protagonist just to throw him into female outfits because they want Tawny instead. Like, base, I'm not gonna say that's a bad thing. I just find that hilarious.
Yep.
Which also means the opposite is true. But apparently people don't like Urban as much, so...
Resources on this planet are limited. The number of people and Pokemon has increased to an unsustainable level. Oh god, it's anime Thanos. That's the worst Thanos. He talks about how in his new world, Pokemon will no longer exist because they will inevitably become too— Oh, that's it. Nobody threatens the Celery Friend. I'm getting me mallet. After I kill him with multiple one-shots because Celery Friend is not fucking around, he says it's too late and there's no hope and to go down and see for myself. I get what Lysander is trying to say. Oh, do you? Because I just heard nonsense. Shut the fuck up, Caleb. You don't get to speak until you put on the ball gown. As we get deeper in, Shauna shows up. Shauna, this is really a main characters only kind of thing. I'm sorry. I know I'll slow you down, but friend—
Okay, can I please just... What? Maybe it's just me that
At
just
this
gets
point,
annoyed that people
kinda just
see Caleb and
blending together.
automatically go, feminize that shit. I'm just like, can he just be a guy?
No.
Fuck you. I disagree.
Guys are the enemy.
should
kidding,
stick
by the
together.
way.
I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking clearly. I didn't consider your feelings. Guys, we're on a timer here. We reached the
Yeah.
bottom, but it's locked. Luckily, Shauna recently learned how to pick an electric lock. That was convenient. How much do you know, Shauna? Shauna secretly Team Claire, but had a change of heart. Clement was the one that made it, but you brought it here, so I guess you're both pretty great. Damn, Caleb, that's one backhanded remark. You're cold. Why are you so mean to Shauna? You know what? You stay out here. Shauna can come with me. Turns out there are a dozen Team Flare admins inside the chamber, and I have to fight them all one at a time. They only have 1 or 2 Pokemon apiece, so it's not that big a deal, but still. After that, Eviltal finally hatches from his cocoon, ready to siphon the souls of the living and usher in a new age of death and entropy. And I killed it in one hit with my pet ballerina. Eviltal is looking at Lily. It seems like it wants to help. Oh, come on! It was so cool when I one-shot you with the power of celery. Man, I hate mandatory
quick
legendary
question.
capture so much. Fine, you picky asshole.
Is it Eviltal or I guess Eviltal?
Yveltal.
I usually just call it Yveltal.
I'm pretty sure Lily is Let me double check that one. Because unfortunately it's very hard to find like the actual pronunciations of Pokemon.
We are looking at how to pronounce the name of this Pokemon, as well as how to say more interesting but unclear Pokemon names. So how do you go about pronouncing this one? Yveltal. You do want to stress on the second syllable, on the vowel syllable. Yveltal. Yveltal. Pretty straightforward once you know.
Yveltal. Interesting.
Yveltal. And now you know.
Yveltal.
Because I would just call him Yveltal.
Yeah. I always mispronounce it, so I know I was not saying it right. But Lily is so far off.
Like Xerneas and Yveltal or Yveltal. I don't know.
So just for annoying me, I'm gonna call you YMCA. Then Lysander comes in. What the fuck are you wearing? What the hell is that? What Google Glass reject have you got on your face? Whatever, me and G will kick your ass in all our finery, which involved a series of one-shots followed by 2 shots.
It would have been more interesting if we got to see a better build up to that outfit, because it's actually kind of cool that he has bugs on him. But again, it just kind of comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Mega Gyarados. Why are you sighing with relief? This was not difficult. Lysander screams.
No! Because it's the fate of the fucking world!
And he probably just got overstimulated by you beating his robotic integration.
No, we're talking about the attack kill.
No, I was talking
With
about his
relief.
screaming.
This was not difficult. Lysander screams. Know what I think? I think even if there's only a little bit of something, it's still best to share it. Shauna, what are you doing? Caleb, what are you doing? Why are you trying to reason with a lunatic? Lysander is ultimately not convinced and tries to activate the weapon with what little power it has anyway, which blows up the inner chamber, I guess, burying Lysander under a pile of rubble. All my friends react to this shocking news with, well, that happened, let's get back to our game. AZ
Well, yeah, because if there's not enough power, the thing can't fire properly.
It is surprising that they move on that quickly. Somebody just died.
Yeah.
comes by and laments about his Floette, who I'm starting to think he has romantic feelings for. Nobody talks about a Pokemon this way. It's just weird. You're so attached to one Pokemon that you're lamenting not being able to take it everywhere. Imagine if someone went to these kind of lengths to keep the same Pokemon for this long. You'd look at them like they were a raving lunatic. You'd have them brought in for a mental health evaluation before they could start their rant about the Harkness test. Right, G? G, why are you looking at me like that? I'd say that the...
Okay, to be fair,
Acknowledging
literally-
your own issues does not make your issues better.
Yeah, no, Lily, you can't. No. Besides that one, it's like, again, Floette is literally his only friend and the person that he lost that started all this entire downward spiral.
And yes, he is still crazy obsessed about her.
It's like losing your best friend. You don't move on with that shit, especially when they are still alive out there somewhere.
No, well, not Exonius, what am I trying to think? That Floette was still pretty much his obsession. His obsession. More than just being a best friend, it was like the one thing he cared about, which is why it hit so hard, even if it seems like so weird that that's what hit most to him. Because he was unhealthily obsessed with this beautiful flower.
story with Team Flare is abrupt, very quick, and ends quickly, but on reflection, it's about the same as Team Rocket in Generation 2 and Team Aqua and Magma in Gen 3. It only feels short and brief because Generation 4 and 5 were unnecessarily verbose with their stories. Those things were packed to the gills with dialogue. Unnecessary dialogue. And we're about to get to the very worst offender in that regard very soon. But Team Flare's story is... fine. I'm probably a lot kinder to it because unlike a lot of Gen 6's detractors, I don't think Black and White and Team Plasma was some turning point of quality for the series. The less like this Pokemon games are, the better. Returning to Anastar City, Sycamore asked to meet me in Koraway Town. Well, that was the next town on the map, so lucky me. When I get there, he apologizes to me about Lysander and the trouble he caused and thanks me for saving the world. Oh, it was no big deal, Professor. I eat maniacs like Lysander for breakfast. Then he talks about how perhaps one day the population will increase to the point of resources becoming scarce, but talks about how if people keep acting with greed, then things will inevitably become catastrophic. Why? There won't even be anything left to steal, will there? This conversation is weirdly philosophical, but in an actually interesting way. It's almost a critique of capitalism, but more so the underlying greed with which capitalism operates. I kinda like it. It's not some megalomaniac giving a big speech before the end of the world, it's just the professor thinking a few things over. He doesn't really have an answer, he's just been left to think about a few things. Like, if Pokemon wants to do philosophy, which it clearly does, it should do it like this. No big, grand anime villain speeches, let's just sit down and think about things for a bit. Imagine how much better Black and White would be if instead of the king of Team Plasma, and was just some guy who you spend one scene with on a bench and he asks you about what Team Plasma is saying regarding the ethics of Pokemon battling, and you get to pick a response, and both responses are variations of I don't know. I feel the grand high stakes are what really ruins the times Pokemon gets weirdly profound, and I think this might actually be my favorite moment of a Pokemon game. Then he wants to battle me, and during the
Okay, here's the thing. Let's see. So the problem with that is that if you did that, Black and White would have had the worst story in the entire series.
Sorry. Dad's in the areas I was kind of iffy about who's being picked up or not. You're saying what again?
So, do you need me to repeat the part?
Yeah, not the part, just what you were trying to say.
If that's what Game Freak did, and have N just be a random ass guy that you sit on a bench with to talk about what Team Plasma is doing, and it ends with I don't know or I don't know, Black and White would have the worst story in the entire fucking series.
Yeah, it kind of feels like it'd be just a waste of time.
Because the thing is, like, yeah, he has to be the head of it, because he's supposed to be, again, the opposite of you, essentially. Because you both want what's best for Pokemon, but you also want what's best for humans, and that is for them to be together. Because trainers bring out the best of the Pokemon. Well, N believes that, no, humans enslave Pokemon, and they would be better off without them. That's the idea that you need to challenge. If N was more neutral on the stance, the game would just be, oh hey, here's these assholes out pulling a Team Rocket with no substance. Hell, say what you want about Team Rocket. Team Rocket has, like, no substance, besides, we're Mafia.
Yep.
And I like Team Rocket. You have anything to say about that, or?
No, I don't know. Kind of. Somehow this is defeating me. Just not in the sense like I'm not able to, but that it's right or whatever. Just that I don't really have any remaining energy to try to beat down any of this. You are fundamentally wrong about how stories should be done. The only reason you like it is because this is legitimately the worst story in the entire Pokemon franchise.
To be fair, Lily did do 100 quote-unquote writing tips, or was it 50 writing tips? Either way, she did writing tips quote-unquote on her Twitter, and eventually it got deleted. There are videos out there reacting to it though, so you can find it. And she says low stakes are always better than high stakes. Friends is more popular than
Disgusting.
your anime for a reason.
That's utterly disgusting.
It is, and also factually incorrect, considering action and adventure typically does better.
I love the Lord of the Rings. They have such low stakes.
Yeah.
Best grossing film Star Wars. Yeah, that was just a tepid adventure about friends duking it out.
You know, it's nothing too serious. It's just friends hanging out. It's like, there are times where low stakes are important. There's times where high stakes are important. Hell, technically, you just don't realize how high stakes Team Rocket actually is, because if they do get their hands on Mewtwo, they rule the world. Like, that's kind of what the Rainbow Rocket thing is to show, like, how high stakes it really is. Because Team Rocket gets Mewtwo. Guess what? Now they're multi-dimensional. What the fuck?
Yeah.
They managed to go and recruit other team leaders to fight, and they've also won? What do you mean Maxie has Groudon? What do you mean Archie has Kyogre? What do you mean Ghetsis has the Reshiram?
Dang, and Mewtwo still solos that.
Yeah, because Mewtwo has a Mega.
That's crazy.
Oh, that's also
Oh,
another team.
that makes more sense. They got the
Giovanni
Mega
also
Stone.
has a
Wow.
Mega Stone.
God damn, I guess I really need to get back to my Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon playthrough.
I could be misremembering, but if I recall, he does. I'm actually gonna double check that, because I don't want to say something and be wrong about it. Because if I am wrong about it, I will admit to it, first and foremost. Oh, that's the battle agency. Yeah, Mewtwo Knight. Which one is it? Is it Ultra Sun or Ultra Moon?
I believe Ultra Moon.
You're dealing with Mewtwo Knight Y then. Have fun with that.
Oh, fuck.
Have fun with that.
Oh, dear lord. And I am going at it with a challenge of only Pokemon that cannot evolve.
Oh, you're so fucked.
I am so utterly doomed.
Have fun with that.
This battle, I just found out if you tap the touchscreen after you knock out a Pokemon, you will give your Pokemon a little pat for doing a good job. Oh, this is the best
How did I
thing
never
ever.
know
On the way to
that?
the next city, Shauna
Because it never gets explained.
Damn, that's adorable.
That is adorable.
stops me on a rope bridge. Really, really bad place to stop Shauna. Then she wants to have a battle. Shauna, this isn't stable. I win, but this was a very bad idea. Then Tierno and Trevor come up wanting to have a battle. Why does everyone want a battle on the rickety bridge? Afterwards, Shauna reflects on all the friends she's made and all the wonderful memories she's had and the adventures she's gotten to go on. I quite like this moment too. Again, it's very brief, but it captures the vibe of Pokemon perfectly. I'll be honest, I'm pleasantly surprised that Junichi Masuda managed to work these things in. Pokemon has lost the plot for so long that I honestly thought my own positive feelings on this game were misremembered. The gym leader in Snowbell City has gone off to the woods, so I follow after him to find him in the village of Pokemon who escaped from abusive trainers. Okay, either that green-haired twat is here or Mewtwo is here. But it turns out the Pokemon trust me because I'm one of the good ones because G won't stop affectionately biting me. Heading back to Snowbell City, I take on the final gym, an Ice Gym.
So that was a sex joke earlier!
Which one was?
Head empty, no thought, crave burger.
Oh. Anyways, I just had to have a bit of a giggle because, yeah, she just predicted Mewtwo.
Because G
Well,
won't
she
stop.
knows Mewtwo's here.
up affectionately biting me. Heading back to Snowbell City, I take on the final gym, an ice gym whose only strategy is to try and one-shot me. But because Mega Evolution is broken, that shit don't work anymore. Making it to Victory Road, I get my badges checked, and the guard wants to fight. Why does everyone want to fight? When I get far enough in, Caleb approaches to tell me that nobody was right in the whole Team Flare fiasco. They were going to do a genocide, Caleb. Who let Rebecca Sugar into the booth? Maybe if both sides have something to say, it's best to meet halfway. What's the halfway point between genocide?
Okay, no,
I'm not trying to say that this is the worst written story in the series.
I should let her finish. I should let her finish.
Genocide and no genocide, Caleb. Wait, what are you doing with those 6 evolution stones? He challenges me to another battle.
Here's the thing. It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, the message is clear. However, the how it is handled completely ruins what it's trying to say. Because the idea of it is like, yeah, no, just because you're on opposing sides does not mean that you should. It's kind of like a bad telling of black and white. Because it's supposed to be like, yeah, no, people can have opposite viewpoints and stuff, but we shouldn't just throw them out just because. We should go and see what the thoughts are about. See why they think that way. See if it's actually a problem or not. That's what the story is trying to be. It just fails in that regard. Because when you're dealing with fucking genocide, you have to be extremely careful about that. Also, fuck you for the Rebecca Sugar mention. I knew we were going to get back to. I knew we were going to get back to Steven Universe. Everything goes back to Steven Universe with Lily.
Keyblade.
Keyblade.
And this time I feel it's important to beat him because he's clearly a murderous psychopath, so I crush his Pokemon but put his villain arc in the dirt before it can begin. It's hard to put a finger on where, but I think you and I are alike. We are not. I didn't say the genocidal lunatic had a point, Caleb. Just like the last time, you get to challenge the Elite Four in whatever order you want. The first one I challenged was Wickstrom, the steel guy. He was an interesting challenge. Again, something of a damage dope, but at least I wasn't constantly healing. Next up was Malva, who was a damage dope. Oh yeah, I just call the one-shot guys damage dopes now. Next up is Drozna, the Dragon Master, who went down to multiple Moonblasts. Thank you, move reminder. Last up is Cybold, who is a master of water-type Pokemon and who all went down to...
Why not Hyper Voice? Does they not get Hyper Voice at this level?
Let me check.
Because you're gonna Mega Evolve the Gardevoir anyways, might as well just add a Hyper Voice instead of Moonblast.
VI at Alright. Hyper Voice is only taught by tutoring in Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire.
Ah. Okay, fair enough.
Thunderbolts. Finally, we come to the champion, Diantha. My favorite champion, tied with Iris. Part of why I like her, aside from the shared taste and cheap bullshit, is that she's not as omnipresent in the story. Champions have started hogging screen time lately, and they end up wearing out their welcome before I even get to the fight. This was most egregious with Generation 4, where Cynthia will not leave me alone and keeps sending me on fetch quests and yammering on and on about philosophy, and by the time I reach her boss fight, I'm already sick of her. So she's an irritating character who represents everything I hate about modern Pokemon, and she's a pushover who falls over very easily. Granted, Diantha ends up being...
Here's the thing, though, everyone loves Cynthia! You're the only one.
Me when I'm in the try to be wrong as possible competition and my opponent is still Lily.
Lily Orchard. Hey, you're trying to be wrong as possible. Adding the Orchard fixes it.
But seriously, one, no, that was actually pretty sick, and two, she's not a pushover.
No, it's just that when you go in, you have a +6 to your Gardevoir, it hits hard. Doesn't mean that you can't be beaten. This is one thing you notice with Lily. Lily literally only has one strat, and that's it.
I won? Oh, they're a pushover. I lost? Okay, the Game Freak, please rebalance your entire game around me.
Genuinely, it's like, okay, I'll just call mine and then use whatever the fuck's like, yeah, that's good. And then imagine if you're trying to set up call mine and I do half your health. Or just one-shot you. Oh, you got the reflect up? Good. Let me just hit you before that reflects up. Because fun fact, you're not speedy. You have 80 speed. I think it's 90 speed. I think it got buffed to 90 in later gens. But still.
I don't know.
Is it 80 or 90 speed? So there's a lot of Pokemon that can out. Imagine fighting a Weavile.
At 80 speed.
80 speed, okay.
Yeah. She gets
Would they get
utterly
90 when
clapped.
Mega Evolved?
100 base speed at Mega Evolution.
Where the fuck did I see the 90 then? Okay. I'm just going insane. But yeah, it's just...
Yeah, we could go on, but basically, she's so utterly bad at everything that somehow it occasionally wraps around to being good, which she just uses as a chance to say how awesome she is and how awesome the actual challenges of the game are.
Oh god, I just looked up Giovanni's team again because I still have it on my other tab. Sandvale, Smooth Rock.
Nice. I just thought of a few and was like, man, I want to use Rhypheria. It has my Geodude typing. It's locked behind a trait evolution.
Rest in peace. There's not much we can do about that. But genuinely, though,
Yeah.
it's like also part of the reason why this is good is because you're setting up on a special attacker.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, speaking of powerfulness, 165 special attack while Mega Evolved.
Only 165?
Yeah.
So I just want to compare that to Alakazam because Alakazam has kind of just been my main point of reference for this.
I should use an Alakazam at some point. Just for you. Wait, I don't have the means to trade. Fuck.
175 when Mega Evolved with 150 speed!
Ooh, but if I get one in Legends Arceus, I don't need the trade. I can just use the silly cable. Maybe. I would think they're catchable in Arceus because it's based around Sinnoh, and Sinnoh did have an appearance of Abra.
I believe so. But no, I love Alakazam. Alakazam is a good Pokemon. And yeah, 150 speed, 175 attack with Trace as the ability. Ooh. Trace is either useless or really good. It really just depends on what you're fighting.
Ah, yes, Legends Arceus does have Abra. Potential.
A pushover as well, but that's largely due to multiple affection crits as opposed to just being able to straight sweep like the last two generations. Now, Goodra was a bit of a bitch because I was running low on power points and Diantha came stocked with an army of full restores. I don't necessarily mind the opponent healing, I just don't think they should have 4 items they dump onto one Pokemon. So since Diantha was playing cheap, I decided to play cheap too and stack those Calm Minds. I was gonna need them to tank the last one's Shadow Ball anyway. This sadly meant that her Gardevoir went down in a single Thunderbolt. Shame, I was hoping for a real Banshee brawl there. Then I get registered into the Hall of Fame and that's Generation Oh wait, we're not actually done yet. I'm walking up to a podium followed by animated gifs of the other characters to be given a medal for saving the world from Team Flare. It's like if Star Wars was an anime. Then AZ walks up and demands that I battle with him. Another battle. This game is over. I already did the Hall of Fame. That's where it ends. You went back on the deal. This battle has no music and AZ only has 3 Pokemon. I have no idea what happens if you somehow manage to lose to him, but AZ smiles when the battle ends and says he finally feels free from the sorrow of committing large-scale genocide. Now that he's not sad anymore, his precious Floette returns. He breaks down into tears while I continue giving them the 1,000-yard stare, and then the game ends with the fletchling that woke me up bidding me a farewell. And that is Generation 6. Right? Nothing else? Sycamore doesn't want another battle? Trevor doesn't? Caleb doesn't want to talk about how maybe a little genocide could be good? No? We're good?
Oh, heaven forbid there's an after bonus episode.
I was pleasantly surprised. I always liked Gen.
Okay, fuck you for that. I was waiting for it to be done with that whole spiel, because, like, what the fuck do you mean I saw the Hall of Flame, the game's done? That's not how that shit works!
At all. In fact, like, okay, remember, this is the generation where people were viciously fuming that they didn't add as much after the Hall of Fame.
Bitch, you play Kingdom Hearts! They add a shit ton of stuff after you beat the main story! You absolute dumb fuck! Have you never fought No, let's be honest, if she fought Lingering World, she probably would cry.
If she fought who? What?
Kingdom Hearts 2 Lingering
Oh,
World.
Lingering.
That or Pete. Monster Pete and Dream Drop Distance. That one was also a bit of a pain. Or Unknown. unknown form would also be one hell of a fight. Was unknown figure in the base? Okay, no, that's Kingdom Hearts 1. What was it called in Birth by Sleep? Mysterious figure.
No. I guess so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mysterious figure. Essentially, the super bosses. Because, like, seriously, if you just know the Kingdom Hearts super bosses, you know how humbling they are. And if this is how Lily reacts to Pokemon, and she was losing in X and Y. Because she's complaining about the battles in X and Y, where a decent team is all you need to win. And they had fucking Pixelate Gardevoir. It's like, I really don't understand, Lily, how you are this bad at Pokemon.
Yeah.
I don't even think I need to make a competitive team. I really just think my playthrough team would be enough to beat her.
It probably would.
6, but I'll admit I got wrapped up in the discourse about it being one of the worst Pokemon games because... Actually, wait, why do people hate these games again? Oh, right, because the villains are normal and the game is still as easy as they've always been. Sure, the story is pretty subpar, but, I mean, compared to a lot of other games, it's practically a breath of fresh air. Lysander is absolutely off his tits, but every Pokemon villain is off their tits in some way. I mean, is the megalomaniac committing genocide against the world in the name of beauty and misanthropy really all that different from the guy who wants to make a volcano explode to expand the land, forgetting the fact that it kills a lot of people? I guess the reception of Gen 6's story depends on your opinion of Generation 5. If you're someone who thought Gen 5 had a deep, complex narrative that asked tough moral questions, yeah, this will probably feel like a huge step backward. However, people who aren't crazy will recognize that the stories are pretty much the same, just without the melodrama. Granted, this game came out in the midst of a paradigm shift where the terminally online take from a lot of people was that villains have to be complex and sympathetic, a notion that has been falling away in the wake of that trope's failure upon failure upon failure upon failure. So when the main villain of a Pokemon game is like, I'm going to blow up the world, and you go, why? And he goes, because you're fucking ugly. It's practically refreshing, and given the fact that Pokemon is a franchise for children, I think it should have more goofy-ass stories like this. That's just the Saturday morning cartoon silliness in action. I'm going to blow up the world because there aren't enough purple socks. If you want to stop me, you better beat me at this card game. The next villain should be driven.
That's not even the fucking motivation!
And even freaking Yu-Gi-Oh! Has better motivation than this.
Like, here, again, the reason why Lysandra wants to go and destroy the world, not even destroy the world, he wants to go and genocide, is, again, the Thanos thing that Lily already mentioned. Because the resources are going to get scarce and it's going to be harder and harder for everyone to live on. Therefore, if we call the numbers, it will at least push it back. Which, again, I also feel like that's probably the thing that Caleb was trying to argue is, yeah, resources are kind of scarce. That is going to be a problem. Not necessarily the genocide. We already know Lily loves to jump to worst case scenario. So whenever she says something, I have to take it with 15 pounds of salt.
Yeah. Gosh, what do I even think before this? Right, I don't really think highly of Pokemon Black and White's story. It's okay. I never really found it to be the focal point. But seriously, X and Y's story is such a huge step down. Everyone is much flatter than they've ever been. You are thrown 4 characters which don't even matter. The professor is barely present at all.
Okay, professors barely are.
Yeah, until Gen 5, where, again, they were a little more involved, and that was pretty cute.
And I guess Alola, but
yeah,
the exception.
Diantha is sort of a pastiche of Cynthia because of how uninvolved she is. What else? Honestly, just to focus on Lysander, he is such a joke of a villain. It's such a nonsensical, abstract sort of thing to be so focused on beauty, and you can just it is just plainly palpable how ridiculous his motives are. That's the key difference. Yes, Not Siren. What's his? Cyrus. Yes. Cyrus ultimately wants to get his own universe, or maybe even wipe ours clean, or whatever. But it's also because he has more legitimate motivation than I only want beauty. He wants to solve to all of life's actual real conflicts, not just beauty. He wants a world where we just stop fighting and all that bullshit. Sure, he wants it all for himself, and he wants it to be remaining pure without human infection. But all the same, it's far more nuanced because it's not something as ridiculous as beauty.
And again, I still say that is a simple construction of it, because I'm pretty sure Lysandra is supposed to be more deep than that. It's just that the presentation is fucked.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, why is he doing this? He mentions the shortages of, well, yeah, like just the shortages of land, the shortages of food, the fact that there's not enough for everyone. That does play part of it, not just the beauty. It's just that he talks a lot about beauty, and that's what everyone clings on to.
Yeah, because a lot of your introductory moments with him are just focused on how he wants, A, Diantha's beauty, B, beauty in general. So
Yeah,
sure, maybe there's some underlying motive, but you aren't introduced to it, and first impressions are everything.
Yeah, again, this is what I'm saying. I do feel like he is supposed to be taken more seriously. It's just something completely fucked up execution, which, fair enough. And that is, I guess, Game Freak. But I'm just saying, it's like, it just gets to a point where I'm like, I feel like at this point we're being disingenuous.
It doesn't help that he's followed by a posse who is literally only obsessed with fashion.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, I feel like that's probably doing it more than anything else.
Yeah, it's hard to take him seriously when you try to say, oh, well, maybe I'll give him a bit of leeway. You're usually at the focal points of big fights with him, where he continues to look just plain goofy. So it's hard to take him truly seriously if there's any sort of merit to his discussion or whatever, because as you said, they just messed up the execution entirely, beyond what the character could be.
Yeah, and that one I really can't blame anything but Pokemon on. I wish I could offend it. I won't, because I can't.
And I wish I could understand.
Good.
I wish I could understand why they so suddenly lost the plot. I mean, we literally went from Gen 5, which, again, while not my most favorite story, actually bothered to, make a more full, fleshed out story and a better execution for, ironically, exactly what they wanted to present in X and Y.
I feel like it's due to... Sorry. I feel like it's due to just the reception of Gen 5. Because remember, even the story of Gen 5 was not taken well at when it got released. It's an excellent, great story, but it's only when you look back on it.
Yeah.
But, like, Gen 5 is just an unfortunate case of we're starting to move to the modern age of something new, fuck it. How dare it not be Diamond and Pearl Platinum 2, Electric Boogaloo.
To evil by an inability to successfully... You better beat me at this card game. The next villain should be driven to evil.
Okay. So, do you want to continue that one? Because we're already at 3
I
hours.
don't know.
I'd like this to be done.
I was trying to think if there's anything else to cover, but I guess wait until she has more points to give.
Because again, I think we already discussed all the ones that got pointed out so far.
Yeah.
By an inability to successfully hunt a shiny, and in this game, you and only you have extremely high shiny odds, and it drives him fucking insane. Furthermore, it's
What the no?
Sorry, I only got shiny out of that. What? What was she talking about? Yeah. Oh,
the next villain should be driven to evil
by shinies?
Okay, let's just play this out. So, just to make sure I did not misinterpret.
Oh, Lord.
If you want to stop me, you better beat me at this card game. The next villain should be driven to evil by an inability to successfully hunt a shiny, and in this game, you and only you have extremely high shiny odds, and it drives him fucking insane. Furthermore, it's interesting just...
No, that'd be stupid.
There's reasons for that. We'll get to it in Sun and Moon.
Like, Lusamine has an actually meaningful motivation. I mean, yes, she's crazy, but she's not, like, stupid.
And there's a reason she's crazy. It's not just because she herself is crazy. There's actual reasons behind this.
That too.
just how many beloved features came out in this generation. Mega Evolution, Pokemon Ami, Super Training, which I forgot to mention and made EV training something that was actually feasible for the average person, the player search system, to this day the best method of connecting with people online, and character customization. Granted, Gen 7 did that one better, but still, the sheer amount of stuff added with these games is borderline absurd, especially Mega Evolution, a feature so beloved Game Freak has been making copies of it so they can advertise it as a new feature every generation since. These are not bad games. I'd say they're pretty damn good. It's not a very deep game, but it never needed to be. Sometimes it's fun to splash in a puddle. I'd say this is the perfect place to start with Pokemon if you don't want to start with a Game Boy game from 1996. It's just damn fun. It's the one Pokemon game since Gen 4 to remember that brevity is the soul of wit, and for that it deserves a fucking prize.
Okay, so
I hate this team. Oh my god, what is this team?
Oh, I'm totally normal about Pokemon, definitely and entirely. Anyways, back to what she was saying earlier. I do agree that this is a fairly decent starting point because this game is absurdly easy. It also has a lot of Pokemon to access, there's a lot of cool things about it, but mainly I'm going to throw it at a little baby child because it's an absurdly easy game to play. As for brevity is the such and such of wit, no. The reason I ramble on is because I know I can't express my thoughts clearly and concisely and with only a few words. It takes a lot to explain more complex ideas. Being brief and simple does not help you. It actually can hinder you in a lot of ways, as it did with the story. Making everything so brief and, well, mainly just brief, it started to make things become pointless.
Hell, there's a lot of accusations talking about, and I'm like, no, because I'm pretty sure they meant to go and say it more like this, because this one makes more logical sense, and I do have faith in Game Freak. As long as that might be, I still have faith in it, because they have done amazing before with Gen 4, Gen 5 story. Gen 3's, at least for Emerald, wasn't all that bad. So I know they could do it. I just think because they're trying to cut everything down to do the reception Black and White got for a story, they made everything too loose, and then the actual motivations just got lost with it. Because again, I don't sorry, phone. I don't think that Caleb was supposed to be like, oh yeah, I agree with the genocide guy. I'm pretty sure he's more supposed to be like, yeah, I can see how the motivation to make resources more available for everyone is a good thing. They just fucked up by trying to do it through genocide. But because they're trying to make everything quicker and faster, that got lost on people. And
yeah, I mean, if they had a longer...
Go ahead.
If they had a longer talk about how, yeah, he's incorrect, I do not believe in his beliefs, but look around you. We are having resource struggles. We are having personal conflicts everywhere. The world is, frankly, not beautiful. And again, that could also be Caleb being totally locked in a single perspective himself. I mean, you get to see beautiful things like the fireworks that weird guy sends off with you and Shauna. You get to see how beautiful it is to play with your Pokemon. And Caleb can be wrong in that he doesn't get to see all that because he does things differently.
Yep.
But that takes time. That takes a lot of dialogue to get into that. If you do it, it's a good story. But you need to take time to do it. You can't rush through it, and you can't say, I need to rush through it because people have short attention spans. Only bad people struggle with their short attention spans. I mean, yes, we struggle, obviously, but saying that validates you is vile.
It's important that when something is not... It's important to know what your shortcomings is. That's why I am quick to blame myself. Because, hey, for all I know, that is a fault on me alone specifically. It's again, there's a lot of games out there that are like, I can see why it's good. I don't like Skyrim. But I can see why everyone else likes it, and that's a personal fault. I'm not saying, oh, Skyrim's bad because of X, Y, and Z that I just don't like. I can see why people like it. I just don't. And it's important to know when to blame yourself.
I can understand now why people like Limbus Company. I couldn't before, but that's because I was dealing with the roughest patch of the game. Yep. But now that I'm starting to understand the complex ideas in better, simpler terms, yeah, it's actually a pretty solid game. And the story, if they focus on the characters, not the excessive amounts of lore, is really solid. Not even pretty solid. It's really solid.
Also, not to mention, in order to show that you understand a given thing, you have to be able to give a description of it in brief, precise details using your own words. The problem is, if something is extremely complicated, that brief will keep increasing in size, because the more complicated something is, the more words you kind of have to use to convey the idea accurately.
Yep.
And yeah, I feel like this is where Gen 6 ultimately fumbles in. Where since they're trying to make everything a lot more snappy, they did not have the words needed to tell the story.
I forget exactly how quickly I beat Pokemon X when I first got it. As a kid of like 13-ish, maybe 12-ish probably. But it was maybe only a day or two over a week.
It's not that long of a game. And not much to do
It is
after you win.
surprisingly short. Me just casually playing the game beat it in just like a week and 2 days. So 9 days effectively.
Goddamn.
Actually, sorry, the greater funny story is pre-order the game. Pre-order comes with a little bonus book, which is a strategy guide and such, so you can, tackle it with a strategy guide. Cool. I got the game. GameStop said they didn't get the book in yet. Please wait. I did not wait to play the game, of course, because I'm a little child and I was way too excited for this game. I then beat it again with like about 9 days of playtime. Not super consistent, and of course super casual, but I did it. And only when I finally saw the credits, the book came in. This is probably also why I started playing it for hours after, because, I didn't always use the book, because I started to know a lot of what it had on offer. It was also just fun to learn more about Pokemon from then on.
That's where the TISM became real.
Oh, the TISM started like the second I got my hands on Pokemon Diamond. This is when I locked in. Basically,
yeah,
it was just when I stopped being baby and was actually able to think deeply about Pokemon.
But I think that's gonna be all for this time. This is Besonic the Jug Gamer with...
Strap.
And we hope to see all you guys again next time. See you guys then.
Bye-bye.